Oh, my fella.
Stop.
Dude, this is my Scoopy Frog noise.
You psycho. Get it on the soundboard then. I was looking at soundboard prices today.
What do you think that is?
This can make sounds?
What do you think the big...
What do you think? Eats our sounds like a Chuck E. Cheese ticket.
You literally just record sounds, and then we have like, you can go between pages, and then you have 8. We get like 36 sounds there. Yeah.
What the fuck? We have a soundboard.
Yeah, it's the Rodecaster Pro. It does everything.
I can't believe I've been using my phone for this Scooby-Doo noise.
All we would have to do, I mean, it's not plugged into anything right now, but all we'd have to do is plug it into like a computer and then just play the blomp, blomp,
That's
blomp.
what we're doing.
And then I would just have to reach over and hit the button.
Next episode is going to be the start of a new era. That's season 2.
Okay, so we have the blomp, blomp,
We need
blomp,
the
blomp, blomp.
ring the bell.
That's exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking all my fellas. That's up to 3.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any ideas for like what would you say is the classification of sounds in our podcast?
I want to add some like secret ones that I don't tell you about.
Okay, I'm trying to think of what they were. Like maybe like what's your goose number? Like we just like go back in time, just like hit your like goose number, goose number.
Yeah, we become the most obnoxious radio show.
Oh, absolutely. And today we have Becky calling in. Becky, what size are those titties?
I just like.
Talking question number 1.
Yeah, question 1. I like that it's like we have to like insert the fucking goose number somehow now.
Oh,
like, we have all these these phrases we would never normally use, but we have to now.
I'm trying to think of other ones that we have. Honestly, this is like the bingo card all over again. Like it's wild that we had a bingo card like 7 episodes in. It was like 5 episodes in. They're like, you guys have already become like. Like, you're already hacked.
Obnoxious.
Yeah, they're like, we already have your entire shtick down to, like, 12 things you'll do every single episode.
Is this the cold open?
For sure. It's kind of...
I mean, darn.
What's wrong with this?
I have a great cold open plan.
Okay, never mind. Cut, you heard nothing. Daniel.
Nick, I'd like to begin the cold open with a reading.
This is the beginning of the cold open.
Yes. I love you. There. Can't take it back now. More eerily muted rustling, but no response. That's fine. It's fine, really. Even when his face began to crumple, lip wobbling miserably, Danny stood tall. In the time it took him to blink away a single stray tear, Danny found himself in a sturdy embrace. For a man of such a narrow frame, Rompo had one hell of a grip on him. Now, Nick... I'm not going to spoil what goes on after, nor before.
Okay.
However, I've been absolutely up to my goddamn knees in Danny X Rompo fanfiction.
Sounds like you've been up to a bit more than just your knees in Rompo.
I've been up quite high, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
In Rompo fanfiction, there is, to my knowledge, now 8 fanfiction
That's
pieces.
double what it was last week.
That's a lot.
If we're expanding on an exponential rate, that means by the time we get to next week, we'll be at 64.
Yes, correct. I hope so. We better.
Do we hope so?
No, I certainly don't. It's been very strange.
I mean,
there's one where I get pregnant with Rompo's child.
We're doing inflation. We're doing Danny inflation.
Yeah.
So you are the bottom.
I guess I am. Yeah, Nick was wondering before this pod who's the bottom, me or Rompo. And yeah, I expected Rompo, but I guess it is me considering I'm the one with the child.
I mean, he is like he fights and he's like a detective.
He doesn't, but go on.
He doesn't fight?
He super doesn't fight.
What is he? He's a detective and he doesn't fight?
He just attacks.
So he's like, oh, go get him, goons?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's literally it. He's like, I found him, go snatch him up.
He's just obnoxious. He puts on his glasses and he's like, I've solved the crime.
And that's the guy topping you?
Yeah,
that's the dude topping you.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
He doesn't know how to navigate a subway. He only eats sugar. It's tough.
I feel like you're just describing yourself at this point.
It's similar. Well, that's why I show Nick some fan art that was based on this specific fan fiction, and Nick couldn't tell us apart. Nick didn't know which one was me.
Genuinely thought you were Rompo.
You know what's funny, too? What I just read is a sequel by popular demand of the original fan fiction.
How long are these exactly?
This one's 900 words.
That is longer than half of the papers I wrote in college.
The original one that this one's a sequel to has 1,700 hits. I don't know if that's a lot.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
What is a hit?
I don't know.
Is this on Tumblr?
I'm on archiveofourown.org.
The fuck is...
It's by Peachy Pius.
Okay.
And it's funny too.
Shout out to Peachy Pius.
Thank you for Peachy Pius.
Thank you for the fan fictions. That's very nice of you.
Yeah. And the intro
The way my fandom would never fucking do this for me, by the way. Like, I don't even... Who would I be shipped with? I genuinely don't know.
Your fandom would send you anthrax before they wrote
they'd write fanfic on a letter and they'd be like, oh my god, it's in here. Just... just like, all right, here we go. Like I'm a fucking Democratic senator.
I would love, like, we're doing, like, all right, the first podcast unboxing. Nick's got his fan mail. I've got mine. I, like, open it. Mine's fan fiction.
Yeah,
here's just...
Just like I stole from Mark Robert. I'm just getting a glitter bomb, but a fucking anthrax to my eyeballs.
Just for 20 minutes, you're like clawing at your throat, like trying to give yourself a tracheotomy.
Meanwhile, you're just so in your fan fiction, you just like have no idea. I'm just like, you're like, no, it's really getting juicy over here.
It's funny because in the summary of the first one,
there's a summary
of each of them.
They're just
they
like,
give a little summary.
Here's the TLDR.
Here's the TLDR of the first one.
I'm sorry, who's skipping through smut? Who's like, I fucking take so long to get Danny's pants off here? Who wants Spark Notes?
No, it's like a like back flap of a book. You know?
Like here's why you read this.
Yes, exactly. So here's a summary for Till the Rain Stops, the first fan
That's
fiction.
what it's called.
Yes.
That's why it was pouring in your... Gotcha, okay.
Exactly. It's
For context here, because the crowd doesn't know what we're talking about, Rose... one of our lovely mods drew a fan...
Hot? Oh, go on.
What? Hello?
Drew a hot piece of art?
Yeah, drew a hot piece of art about the first fan fiction.
Yes, correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And all of this started completely out of nowhere. Like, I was just minding my own business, doing nothing new in terms of my content.
Yeah.
But people apparently love, like, an enemies to lover plot line. And
they do.
so...
It's every rom-com ever.
Correct. And so I started off hating Rompo in the show, and I ended season 5 loving him. He's my favorite character.
Gotcha.
TikTok went nuts with it. So the summary to Till the Rain Stops is, Danny clambered into his life, powerless, the same brand of mundane as Rompo. No longer was he the ugly duckling, not with someone who shared his malignant fate by his side.
Wait, I'm sorry, are you the ugly duckling?
I think we're both just ugly.
That's fucked. That's a fucked up thing to say. Here we are. No. I love to write this fan fiction about Danny. I love his context so much. Fucking ugly.
Yeah, interior. Danny's wet, disgusting room. Thanks, guys.
Covered in a bunch of his gross arm hairs. Yeah.
But then it goes, so, well, you may know me from my ongoing Yuri on Ice fic. This is not that. As a writer, I have power. Today... I've used it for evil.
Gotcha.
That's the whole summary.
Yeah. I would read it.
Well, you know, that's good to hear. That's strange to hear from my podcast co-host.
Well, it's not like it's actually... Like, here's the thing. All right. Genuine question for you. Sex tape of mine gets leaked.
Yeah.
Do you watch it?
Absolutely not. You're sweaty enough just talking to me. I do not need to see...
Daniel.
Yeah? I don't need to see your sex tape leaking. I don't need to see you leaking even worse.
Daniel, I know it would ruin the podcast. Morbid curiosity would get the better of me if you had a sex tape leak. I'm sorry, I would have to see.
I think I'd have to react to it on my channel, on my main channel.
Fucking fun. Just like a censor bar over like the important bits.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
The important bits. What is there a lot of lead in?
Well, no, just like you gotta it's like Japanese porn. You gotta blur out certain parts, you know, and then it's YouTube safe.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Actually, I mean, that guy put his whole butthole on YouTube, so as long as you say it's educational, did you miss this entire...
Who's that guy?
Did you miss this entire thing?
There
was a dude who was like, oh, I have to go to this thing, but first I have to wax my butthole, and he's like, for context, this is how hairy my butthole is, and then just full on put a picture of his hairy butthole on, and did like 80 million views. You missed this entirely.
Yeah.
You got none of it.
Why? How would that ever end up in my feed?
It was big on TikTok. I don't know.
His asshole?
Apparently, I'm on asshole talk. I don't know. I don't know how it got there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's horrible. That sounds horrific.
Because you can put nudity on YouTube as long as it's educational.
If it's medical. Yeah. Interesting.
Which is, I mean, you could just be like, my medical, assessment of how I did in coitus.
Well, yeah, welcome to my medical porn.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuckers.
I've definitely seen some, you know. Yeah. Oh no, I'm in hospital. Whatever will I do? Oh no.
Oh no, I'm horny in a hospital.
Oh god, both my hands are broken. I'm literally quoting a porn I've seen now.
Both my hands.
Oh yeah, it's like I can't do anything, and then the nurse is like, okay, I guess I have to. Okay, clearly. We started in different quadrants.
I wonder how many podcasts we've started talking about porn.
This is 2 in a row.
We never talk about this off the pod. We are not this horny together typically.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's genuinely fair. Something about the energy, man.
I guess so.
Just gets our blood going. But anyways, welcome to Otakus Anonymous, the kind of anime podcast where me and Danny definitely
I don't know what you're talking about. No one is left. No one is still listening after
you're right.
that
Genuinely.
one. Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out this week. We appreciate you being here. Make sure you follow us on all the other platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and, you do all the things. But welcome to Otakus Anonymous. I'm NCAmber23, also known as the Weeb Commander, and I'm joined, also known as, apparently, I have a nickname as well.
Yeah, you do.
Let's go. Can I help you, sir? Can I help you? This is why we need the soundboard. No one's gonna hear that.
It's hard to prep the frog type beat. Yeah, because I knew my introduction was coming.
Because it just auto plays.
Yeah.
The problem is you can't reach the soundboard, so you're gonna have to give me the eyes, and you just have to be like we'll do symbols. You do this would be A, and A will be frog type beat, and I'll have to hit that.
Either that, or I'm gonna have to be like, woo!
Yeah.
Slam it down.
We can just get you a really long stick.
Yeah, just see plastic and keys fly up.
I would love to get you a really long stick, and it's just you missing the wrong sounds. Just 5 minutes of the wrong sounds playing.
Just goose number. Goose number. Ding ding the goose number.
Just wait, please.
Stop.
Give me a minute. So anyways, I'm apparently Spit Boy.
Yeah, that's way worse than Piss Boy.
And, is it though?
That is.
Is it?
It's just grosser sounding.
Also,
Piss Boy's charming and cute.
I feel. I guess I fair. I don't know. I feel I would rather people be oh yeah, in public that's Spit Boy. I'm like a llama. But here's the
I think I've just claimed Piss Boy. I've reclaimed it as my own.
Yeah, you're taking the word back.
Yeah,
exactly. you're doing the LGBTQ community taking the F slur back.
A favor.
That's absolutely
what
you're
I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing. I feel like I've earned Spit Boy.
Okay.
I feel like you haven't earned Piss Boy.
How many times do I have to piss myself on this podcast?
You haven't done it once? How many times have I spit up on myself on this podcast? Almost once an episode.
You are like a rambunctious baby.
Yeah, because I get excited. I drink water, and then I get excited, or I laugh, and then just water comes out.
It's because you've got this flexible plastic tube that just flies out of your mouth mid-suction.
That also doesn't help.
No.
It's either, if you count actual spittle coming out of my mouth and just straw flicks, twice an episode at least.
I'm gonna let you drink. Yeah,
but you've never pissed yourself on the podcast.
I just show up with a wet, damp crotch.
That's fair.
From water, typically.
I mean, but also every time we have any kind of break, you're I need to pee.
True. Yeah,
because this is the only place you drink water consistently.
That's true.
Yeah. Speaking of the which, wow, get hydrated. Listen, all of you out there right now, get hydrated. So yes, I'm NCAmber23, also known as the Weeb Commander, also known as Spit Boy, and I'm joined by
Piss Man, baby.
Piss Man.
Someone called me Piss Man, and boy, oh boy, did that feel good.
Yeah, it's like going from Robin to Nightwing.
Yeah. So I'm Piss Man. You may have seen me at your local fan fiction site, where I'm fucking Rompo and or Nathaniel Hawthorne, author of The Scarlet Letter. That's also going around.
How did that happen?
Also in the show.
What? I feel. Wait, in what show?
Bungo Stray Dogs.
Oh,
they're all Bungo characters.
Nathaniel Hawthorne is a character. Who's the most recent author? Is there any alive authors in it?
The guy who wrote The Great Gatsby's dead, right?
I probably would have. Actually,
he's probably
for some reason I think The Great Gatsby was written in the 1920s, but it's also just about the 1920s.
No, I think it's old.
I think it's old as well.
F. Scott Fitzgerald's probably the most contemporary author. I don't know dick about any Japanese authors though.
Makes sense, yeah.
Because Osamu Dazai, who's one of the lead characters, I think he's pretty recent, but he killed himself in the 80s.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that's
good
cool.
for him.
And that's sick.
Yeah, listen, hey, this is a good book. I'm out.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of authors, boy oh boy, do people want me to be a booktuber?
Yeah, dude, Sanderson talk. Our Sanderson segment took off so hard.
Why was everyone so excited about Brandon Sanderson?
He's huge. He's the biggest fantasy author next to George R. R. Martin.
I can't
and you are the fucking power scale champ.
First off, don't ever say that again.
That's what you are.
Don't you dare ever say that again. I can't even conceptualize starting another channel. There's no concept in my mind of the time I would find to not only make a video, but to fucking listen to an entire book.
Yeah.
How?
Read it.
What? No.
No.
I haven't read a book since I was 14. I'm not starting now.
Do it while you work
I'm not starting
out.
for you, motherfuckers.
Do it while you work out.
It's what, One Piece? I have 200 more episodes of One Piece.
200 more?
How do you read?
Then do it after that.
How do you read while working out?
You listen.
Okay, that makes sense.
I listen while I work out. That's how I get through any audiobook.
How long is a book?
Like 20 hours for the Mistborn ones, 40 for the big tome ones, like the magnum opus.
It's actually not that bad.
Not that bad. That's what I'm saying.
I could do that in
40 days.
For
the biggest ones.
If I'm working
out for like an hour.
If I throw in headphones, my workouts are 2 hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I can do that in 10 days.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I could do that.
You should do it. I swear to God, make one video that's like on Weeb Commander that's like the most anime book or whatever. Because they're so anime. And it's all about power scaling, power systems. They got crazy ass lore. Oh, Lore's insane. It's like if it were an anime, it'd be right up your alley. You'd eat it right up.
It just sounds like so much work.
Well, yeah, for sure. And you don't need more work.
This feels like the time. Well, first off, it feels like anytime anybody's like, oh, you're a YouTuber? You should cover this. Like it happens to me and Danny all the time. It's like, oh my God, I love Grey's Anatomy. Have you ever talked about that? It's like, no, I have never seen White Woman One Piece. But like, It sounds great. Everybody wants me to do it. It sounds right up my alley.
Yeah.
I barely have time to read weekly releases of manga.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I want to get into. I don't know. I'll think about the Brandon Sanderson thing. All right? All right? Leave me alone.
That's so crazy. I can't believe that happened.
I can't believe it was the most
I can't believe I've almost convinced you to
can't believe on a week when we were talking about Nanami and JJK, the one thing everybody brought up was like, Brando. And I was like, what do you mean?
He's on the rise right now. Like,
what do you mean?
He is about to like absolutely peak. Because one, he's got this massive Avengers style universe across all of his books that is like right now starting to converge.
Crazy.
He's halfway through his 10-book magnum opus. So that's big.
Yeah.
And then also he has a podcast. He works like a motherfucker, but he has a podcast and he was talking about how like recently, after like the success of The Witcher, of Arcane, all these things, all these studios are like knocking at his door, demanding to turn one of his properties into a show or a movie.
God damn.
It like now is the perfect time if you were to capitalize financially on being a Brandon Sando.
Where does it end? Though that's the thing. It's like, oh, Nick, now
it
you're
never
covering
ends,
books,
and then we die.
And now you're covering books, and you're covering. It's probably a good thing, honestly, because it's like a whole nother chapter to my life, and people would probably still follow me into it. And like, God knows, I want to be a YouTuber forever. So actually, it's not a bad idea. I hate that it's not a bad idea. I don't know. Maybe when I run out of Naruto content, I'll be like, fuck you guys. I'm going to Brandon Sanderson. I'll probably just do that. I'll just repurpose NC Hammer 23 to be a Brandon Sanderson page. Anyways, I want to talk about manga because it was a big week for manga. It was kind of a big week for manga. What I want to talk about specifically is one of your favorite animes of all time. It's manga, Chainsaw Man. I made a video today. Actually, I released a video today. It's Thursday. You guys are watching this on Sunday. We give Stank, our editor, a fair amount of time. But Chainsaw Man came out with a new chapter, chapter 146. And the end of Chainsaw Man is in sight.
Oh, boo.
It's not like in a bad way.
I don't
like,
want it to end.
Well, yeah, dude, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Because I'm 146 chapters into One Piece, into Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
And not at a single moment throughout Chainsaw Man have I been like, this story could end.
Yeah.
Because there's no plot. Like, there's no plot whatsoever. Like, obviously there is a plot. Like, part one is about like the public safety division and like the leader of the public safety, like a bunch of shenanigans. And
There's super a plot, but go on.
Yeah, but like it's like this is a boy. It's like a very character driven story. It's not like we need to defeat. It's like Kagurabachi right now. It's like I need to get 6 swords back. From the intro of Kagurabachi, the end has been in sight. It's like the second you can identify, all right, here's what we need to get done, and once that's done.
It's like Demon Slayer.
Exactly.
To use a property anyone has heard of.
Yeah. Kagurabachi is the second biggest manga on Earth right now.
So
Isn't that fucked? It overtook JJK for weekly reads.
That's crazy.
It's One Piece, Kagurabachi, JJK.
It so hasn't earned it.
It's so fine.
Yeah.
It's just so incredibly fine.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Fine pays.
Sometimes. I think it's because of the goof. Like, Reddit did it.
Oh, yeah?
Like, it's not big because it's good or because anyone likes it. It's big because of the meme. And now people are like, I might as well stick onto it.
Here's the thing.
Saying, your insinuation that its success is tied to, people want something comfortable and safe.
Yeah.
I think is not true. I think it's directly tied to the meme.
I think, yes, the meme had a lot to do with it. Yeah. I also think it being kind of fun, but like also not a masterpiece is why people have stuck with it. Because it's not like this heavy, like gritty fire punch read where you're like, it's a fucking slaw. It's just like, this hurts me. It's just like, it's Demon Slayer. It's just like, oh, cool. There's a boy, he's trying to get swords back. There's a quirky, like, little sister character who he's like trying to save right now. There's like a kind of like sexy older man who acts as like the father figure of the entire situation. You're like, it's
I'm glad
easy.
you also find him sexy.
The Mr.
The like blonde dude who teleports? Yeah.
He's sexy.
He's sweet.
Yeah. It's just like, so that's the entire thing. It's like there's a mysterious, smoky, sorcerer. There's a little sister character. And then there's a main character who looks cool. He's got a simple mission. It's revenge. And that's it. And that's crazy. It's like virality. Because you think virality, it's like, oh, it makes a content creator's career. Apparently, virality can also make your fucking manga. Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah,
like,
I know, it's crazy.
You have one big week. It's like I've had this theory about like Vegas for years.
Okay.
Like, well, here's the thing: Piff the Magic Dragon. Do you remember Piff the Magic Dragon, the guy who won America's Got Talent like 12 years ago?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. I thought you were just mispronouncing Puff the Magic Dragon.
No, it was like his name's like like Piff the Magic Dragon or something like that. It's like if you ever had like 2 to 3 good weeks, like in America as a performer, you can get a residency show in Vegas and make $1 million a year for the rest of your life. It's like Tape Man and Piff the Magic Dragon are like 2 people that did like good in the early iterations of America's Got Talent, and now just get to live in Vegas, like performing 3 times a week and make $1 million.
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about
once again,
I feel like you're talking about the new Boruto chapter with how... Yeah, I know.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I know. But with how just detached from all this lore I am.
Crazy.
With Tape Man
and
Piff.
What did you watch growing up?
Cartoons.
Okay, but like when you were like in that weird in between when you were like, oh, cartoons are too childish, what did you switch to?
I'm on a fucking anime podcast, Nick. I never got over cartoons.
You never had the moment where you're like, I need to watch like real people TV shows.
I watched Breaking Bad twice, and that's probably the only live action series other than Game of Thrones that I ever watched alone.
From 12 to 16, I was like, I'm only watching live. I was like, I think I watched like some anime in shame.
Right.
Like I would definitely like be like, oh, like I'll watch High School DxD or whatever. But like I watched mostly anime and shame, and then I would be like, oh, Game of Thrones, The Wire, Breaking Bad. And then me and my mom grew up, and this is the reason my family thought I was gay for a long time. My favorite show growing up was America's Next Top Model, and it was appointment viewing with me and my mother every Monday night.
Wow.
And so my sister and my mother, when I brought home my first girlfriend, were like, I'm sorry, what? And I was like, what? And they were like, yeah, no, we were like 1,000% sure you were gay.
Wow.
Yeah.
To be fair, I used to watch Say Yes to the Dress and 4 Weddings every Saturday morning.
Okay.
Those shows bang. They go really hard.
Similar upbringing.
Yeah, I feel you.
Single mothers, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But I was watching like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon until I went to college. And then I just watched nothing.
You were just like,
That was with video games.
And then, okay, I was going to say, you're just like too busy like face full of snooch. You're just like, I don't have time for TV. That was the noises the girls were making.
How dare you? How dare you to my frog type beat?
I really do want the soundboard. Really, like it's going to be fantastic. People loved it a lot, but I'm sure they'll get sick of it. I think it's going to be like a cyclical thing where it was funny last week, and then we're going to overdo it, and people are going to hate it, and then it's going to be like Stockholm syndrome, and people are just going to kind of come back around.
Yeah.
So we really just have to plow through. We have to do it as much as possible. We have to get people sick to it.
Listen, you don't have to tell me to do this bit as much as possible. All right,
we have to inoculate. We have to inoculate everybody, and then eventually they'll get used to it.
Yeah.
Back to Chainsaw Man, though.
So fine.
What?
No, I'm joking.
You want to do another 20 Kagurabachi minutes?
I want to do 20 more minutes of frog type beat. Collect my check and get out of here.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you even
go on.
You bring. Me and Danny had a very polarizing conversation before this podcast that I cannot tell you about. So that's all I'm going to say. That's all you get from me.
Okay.
Yeah, listen. But we are in the process of making a Patreon. Me and Danny actually want to do
like a let's play deal.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing like couch games and things like the MHA Battle Royale. And we're thinking about doing like 2 1-hour let's plays every week. So we're probably going to start that when I get back from Vegas.
Right?
Oh yeah, every month. My bad. Yeah,
God.
yeah. 8 videos a month.
Jeez,
that'd be wild. We would literally just be streamers again.
Yeah,
that's like, well, no, I streamed like 12 hours a week. I still can't believe
you streamed like a maniac on top of making YouTube videos. Anyway, though, talk about Chainsaw Man. Okay, people are gonna be pissed at me specifically.
146 came out, and the final boss of Chainsaw Man has been revealed.
Oh, crazy!
Yeah. So like I've said, like for the majority of Chainsaw Man, there's never been like a this is where we need to get. It's like Denji wanted to get laid in like part 1, and then part 2 it's like Denji wants to be a regular human, and that doesn't come with an ending. But now in chapter 146 the Death Devil has been like revealed to be like coming down to earth in 6 months, and now everybody is in like a prep stage to battle against the Death Devil, which I called 4 months ago.
Really?
Yeah. I was like talking about primal devils and all of that, like the darkness devil, the falling devil. And I was like, there's a third primal devil, like, because there's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, which is the control devil, the famine devil, the war devil, and then the death devil. And we've seen the 3 that aren't the death devil. So I was like, the death devil's going to get revealed. It's going to be the strongest devil of all time. And it's going to be a primal devil. And it's going to be the final bad guy of Chainsaw Man. This week confirmed all of that.
That's hype.
I know, right?
Does he look cool?
No, so it's not like not revealed yet. So it's like they're like the Death Devil is coming in 6 months. We need to get ready. And my thing is, after that happens, I don't see where you go on with Chainsaw Man. Like it's like they just said the Death Devil is the strongest ever devil. That makes sense because of how powers in Chainsaw Man work. It's like the thing that garners the most fear is death. So that's gonna be the #1 devil of all time.
Yeah.
It's like after you kill the Death Devil and possibly a year to 2 years from now, like in our world, like 50 to 100 chapters from now, where do you go?
I guess it just ends.
Right?
Like, that makes sense. And also, considering his last manga ended, which makes sense by virtue of it was his last manga, yeah, it, like, it wouldn't surprise me to think that he would just want to do a different thing.
What do you think? Like, here's my thing. Fujimoto is one of the most interesting people on Earth, I would say. Like, one of the most... Like, I want to have a conversation with him, but at the same time, I really don't.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want...
Seems like a lunatic.
Like, I feel like I just would get imbued with whatever energy he was putting off, and that scares me.
Yeah.
But fuck, would I love to see what he comes up with next.
Yeah.
Like, it's like going from Fire Punch to Chainsaw Man. I'm like, give me something. Like, I love Chainsaw Man, and I want to stay in that universe forever. But god damn it, would I love to see what else he thinks of.
No, it would be awesome. He is very fascinating, especially considering, like, if you read his manga, you're like, this dude's a weirdo. I never want to meet or talk to him.
Yeah.
And then you realize, or you learn, that he was a lawyer in Washington, in the United States. And then you're like, hold on now.
Yeah.
Like, what's your deal? Like,
and it's like the only picture we have of him is him, like, fully decked out as Makima with, like, a full face of makeup.
That's so
And that's,
funny.
like, literally it.
That's so weird that mangaka, like, hide their faces so frequently.
It's like also like it didn't used to be a thing. Like it started becoming a thing, and I think it's like probably like the death threats thing, right? Like it's like like it's like with the like, advent of social media, people being like, "You killed my favorite character," like time to die.
Yeah,
because like let's be real. If Gege Akutami showed his face, he'd probably be in danger.
Yeah, because you told people to kill him.
I didn't. I know, incredibly felonious. Listen, FBI, I did not do that.
You told people to assassinate him. It was your best boy.
I said
the guy who killed him.
There was a hard...
Your Honor, I said psych.
Listen, my fingers were crossed. That's legally binding.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like, back in the day, like, Masashi Kishimoto... Tite Kubo and, you know, Ichiro Oda, obviously, like, very public. Like, we know what they look like, Hayao Miyazaki. But it's like something in, like Togashi, we know what he looks like. But technically, his manga, like, Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, were made, like, long times ago. And now, like, he's just continuing the story. When was the cutoff? Was it MHA?
The first time... I don't know all the mangaka who don't show their face.
It's the mangaka of MHA.
Oh, yeah?
Gege Akutami, who does JJK. Tatsuki Fujimoto, who does Chainsaw Man, the guy who writes Bungo Stray Dogs, he wore a mask.
Yeah.
There's a bunch.
That guy needs a mask. I could see a Bungo Stray Dogs fan killing that guy.
For sure. I don't know. I feel like everybody's like, everything I've heard about Bungo Stray Dogs, everyone's like, this is so great. Like,
yeah, because they like it right now.
Yeah, I guess. But also, I feel like Bungo Stray Dogs is like the king of death baiting. Because the entirety of season 5's first episode was like, psych, all the people you thought were dead aren't.
Yeah.
So.
It definitely is. But, like, the second Rompo kisses the wrong man, that dude's dead. That dude's 6 feet underground.
I think so.
For sure.
So it's like you need to ship them with the right person.
Yeah, I mean, look, not actually. You're really doubling down on me right now. But like, no, not actually. They are like a very sweet community. But it's funny and ironic to me that the guy who's like the biggest stakes in Bungo Stray Dogs is probably the shipping. Like, I really don't think people care if characters die for real or not.
Yeah.
Because no one buys it. Like, characters are constantly just coming back.
It's One Piece. It's like, oh, Zoro like got stabbed, and it cuts to black, and you're like, he's fine. Like, he's literally so fine.
Yeah, like the second Dazai kisses Rampo, like that's when it all goes to shit.
Yeah.
But the first I'd heard of it is the Nier Automata game creator.
Okay.
Do you know that guy?
No.
He wears like a big like moon head.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
And like no one has seen his face. And I remember like, it's funny because when I was hearing about that, everyone's like, yeah, isn't that quirky and weird that he does that? That's so unique. And now it's like every mangaka's doing it
Just
because fans are psychotic.
I genuinely can't think of somebody. I actually don't know what the Black Clover mangaka looks like, but I don't think, no, so one is anonymous, I think, but Yusuke Muramata, the guy who does all the writing, isn't. But he's also, he comes from like, he did Ice Shield 21, which is like way back in the day. So I genuinely think like, I would say 80% of mangakas, 100% like anonymous, which honestly, I get it. I do. Like if I wasn't such an attention whore, I like, yeah, get the money.
Yeah.
Don't get the fame. Like that's the best kind of thing. But like, to me, kind of equal footing. I'm like, oh, the money's nice, but also like, the fame is nice.
I like immediately regretted making my YouTube channel my full legal name, like
Why?
like weeks into doing it, just because I was like, oh, what if I ever want to become a teacher or this or that?
Fair.
And now like any school I apply to has to like show me my own fan fiction and be like, what the fuck is this?
You're like, I didn't write it.
Yeah.
You're like, listen, you get to know the inside of me better. You know me inside and out. You'll know my character.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Did you hear, you know Whitest Kids You Know?
Yes.
Timmy, you remember Timmy?
Yes.
He was like an accountant for a while.
Yeah.
And then he got fired because I found out about Whitest Kids You Know.
I was going to say like, oh, it was like, they're fine. They're totally fine. But at the same time, like Whitest Kids You Know happened. Then the rest of them kind of just like after Whitest Kids You Know happened, none of them really like kept acting.
Except Zach, who made Barbarian.
I forgot about that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
He is married to a friend of my sister's.
That's hype.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was very weird growing up.
So he went somewhere and then Trevor died.
Yeah, so doesn't have to worry about money
accidentally.
anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So it worked out for him.
Yeah, no, it's the cheapest way to live.
Yeah.
To not.
Right.
So yeah, Chainsaw Man manga is going absolutely crazy right now. The end is in sight. I want to talk about I want to talk about isekai anime coming back, and like more importantly, like VR anime having a moment right now. Okay, so we all talked about Shangri-La last week, and we watched the most recent episode this week, which was fun.
It was okay.
It was fine.
It was losing me.
Really?
It really started to convince me, oh, maybe I don't like this genre at all, actually.
Okay. Why?
Because the whole first half, he's fighting a boss. He's fighting a big wolf boss.
Which it was a cool fight.
It's cool, but it's like the definition of an I don't give a shit fight, because I'm like, it's just fighting a boss. Like, who cares? There's no stakes. If he dies, nothing happens.
Fair.
Like, and that's why I was like, oh, it's not enough. Like the video game thing is like an inherent point deductor for me. Because
so
it's like
weird.
Because if he was fighting like a real wolf and there's like stakes behind it, even though I'm not like, oh, is the main character gonna die in episode 3? I have like any reason to feel some sense of tension, but I'm like, just watch. It's like I'm watching like you fight a Dark Souls boss. It's like, this is cool. I'd rather be playing Dark Souls though myself.
It's so funny because it's like, you're like, oh, I can't, like, this is too far separated from reality for me to, like, you're watching anime.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, the stakes aren't there for me. You're watching anime. There's never been stakes.
But it's like, it just feels like a waste of time. Like, I know it does, it leads to him getting, like, the Tanjiro scar, which is funny because now he is Tanjiro and Inosuke with a bird mask.
He's combo.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Which is why he uses 2 swords, one for each side.
Exactly. And so he gets a scar that means he can't wear like any armor on his torso or legs.
Yeah.
Which I like, because when he got the green armor, I was like, I kind of like the shorts look.
Yeah, it
like,
doesn't hit.
Yeah. So I like that he's like stuck in his getup. But yeah, it was just like, I just felt like I was wasting time.
But here's the thing, it wasn't about like that fight wasn't supposed to be the fight where you're like, oh, this has like stakes, because like that's supposed to set up the final boss.
Right.
So it's to be their second fight that has stakes, because he's like, oh, now he's strong enough to defeat like again the Night Slayer or something like that.
Right, but it's 10 minutes long.
And it was a well animated fight. Like it was like cool.
But I didn't care. You know what I mean? It's like if your friend is like, yo, check out this fight from like Shubi no Doobie, and he sends it to you and it's like 15 minutes. You're like, I'm not gonna watch. I don't know what this fucking show is. Like my friend has sent me Gintama fights, and I'm like, I don't care. I don't know who these characters are. I don't know the context.
See, this is a wild thing to say in the context of this week, because we got another episode that we're going to talk about eventually, which was just a 22-minute fight.
Right. And I'll talk about why that one's way better and good.
Well, of course, because it's 36 episodes in versus 3 episodes in.
Well, exactly.
But you have no connection to the characters. Like that would make sense in 3 episodes.
But it's also the video game thing, like, ruins it for me, because it's like, it's not even like he's like, we need whatever this boss is protecting. Like, or, you know, if this boss gets to this character, they'll die in real life. Or
it was
whatever.
just beef.
It's just fluff.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of fluff. And like, pretty looking fluff. When I watched this directly after the Jujutsu Kaisen episode, it's like...
See, I did the reverse.
Yeah.
I watched Shangri-La Frontier yesterday, and then I watched JJK today. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, back into back those two is not a great...
But I think your point of being like, it's anime, there are no stakes anyway, it's a silly show. That's why, like, watching anime ever is a waste of time, because life is so short and none of it matters.
Fuck that, it's literally our job.
But I mean, like...
Oh, yeah, like, working on an oil refinery is a waste of space. But, like, you need to pay the bills.
That's what I'm saying. Doing anything is a waste of time.
Oh, wow, this is so nihilistic. It's so sexy. Keep going.
That's why I need, like, a progression system in a video game. Like, I need to be working towards, like, skins or, like, abilities or something. Otherwise... I feel, or even just doing a ranked mode. What about climbing a rank?
Wait, so like, what about like an open world RPG? Like Elden Ring. You were like, oh, there's no, like, oh, why are they giving me so much freedom? Like, where am I supposed to be going?
The goal is to beat the game.
Okay, so you need a clear end in sight.
No. I need a reason for things to be happening. Like, right, so, and watching anime is already technically a waste of time, right? Because like you said, there's like, no, it's not real. You know, if you want to get to the bare bones of it, like, you have to put in the effort to get invested. You have to be like, I want to get attached to these characters. I want to care like they are real, because then it's fun. So when the show that is fictional and not real is then like, even the shit going on in our show is not real in the context of our not real show.
Universe, yeah.
I'm like... Then what are we doing here?
So it takes 2 stages of separation from reality for you to just not be interested.
Yeah, it's like the show is like, this doesn't matter. Like, I need the show to be like, it matters if Goku beats Frieza. And then I could be like, okay, it does.
But it does matter.
It
matters
matter
to him as a gamer. If anybody should relate to this, it's you, Mr. I need a progression system. I need balanced fighting. I need good hitboxes. I need to know the clear end. You're saying I need good video game things for me to be interested in a video game. And this is a man finally enjoying a video game for the first time. And the wolf is why he's enjoying the video game. It's a tale of enjoying video games.
But I don't get to play. I might as well watch an esport at that point.
Oh, yeah. All right, cool. This is going to go over super well. Anime is a waste of your time, and esports are boring. That's going to go great with our all-male audience.
I think people will understand what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's not that I'm like, I've heard, you remember when, like, Joe Rogan and shit were, like, on that train where they're like, yeah, like, you're a fat idiot loser if you sit around and play video games all day. Like, I get... that however you enjoy entertainment, that's not a waste of time, because like if you're having fun, that is the best use of time. I just mean like what you said, where you were like, anime isn't real, so you have to put in the extra effort to like care. Yeah. If the anime is like, hey, don't even worry about caring, why am I?
But like the thing is, like it's about a difference in like what's the objective? Of course, it's not like, oh, this wolf is actually gonna like cut me in half, but like it's still like he wants to defeat the wolf because it's the final boss. And as somebody who enjoys video games, that should be something you relate to.
I like beating the final boss. I'm not gonna call you up and be like, yo, I just bought you Elden Ring. You want to watch me play it?
That's what you're describing streaming.
That's different. I don't like watching streaming. It's not for me then.
It's insane. It's insane to hear
I guess you're right. I guess
Millions of people love watching other people play video games.
I guess I just watched a scripted Twitch stream.
Yeah, what do you mean?
That's what that is. That's what this is.
A scripted Twitch actually is kind of what it is.
That's what this isekai is.
That's crazy. I never really thought about it like that. But I really enjoyed the episode. I thought it was cool. He went to like Bonaria or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was like fucking Rabbitville or something like that. Like all the names are like First Dale, Secondville. It's all stupid. But like cool. Like I enjoyed the episode. It looked good. But I want to say this season, if you like VR anime like I do, unlike you, obviously, huge season. Because Netflix just released a 12-episode anime called Goodnight World, which is also a anime about a VR anime, but it's like kind of a really different vibe. Like this is obviously Shangri-La Frontier is about like, oh, it's a boy who plays trash video games. He finds a good video game. He's enjoying it. Like it's like he's really good at the video game because he's used to like latency and bad hitboxes and those kinds of things. This one, this Goodnight World, is it like it follows, like, you know, we love the main character of Shangri-La Frontier. Like, he's like a relatable MC who doesn't do anything wrong. This is about like a shut-in NEET, like who like hates the world. All he says is shit. He's like shitty world, shitty like brother, shitty. Like it's like kind of annoying, but like at the same time, the story is about a family, like an incredibly broken family, a dad, a younger sister, a younger brother, and then the main character who all like have fallen to pieces. Like, and they all like kind of live with each other, but like they all hate each other, so they don't talk. But they all play the same video game, and they've ended up accidentally, because nobody discusses their real lives, becoming a family in the video game. So it's a really cool like study on like video games as escapism, and like the way that people like feel like sometimes people will find like actual reality more in video games than in reality, and especially like in a circumstance where like it's like full dive VR. Like that's what's so interesting to me about the concept of full dive VR is like how many people will simply retreat from it, like community, like society immediately.
Right.
Like 10% of the Japanese population currently is like, I forget the actual word, but it's like a shut-in, like a full, like a full-on, like they don't leave the house, like agoraphobic. Like so, it's like something like it's either like 1 in 9 or like 10% of people is like we don't leave, like just like have been failed by society. Like I am gonna like chill in the house. I'll get like online work to like make sure I have the Wi-Fi and electricity, or they live in like internet cafes, and that is very much reflected in this show. And like it's cool to see because it's not like a issue, like it's an issue a lot of places, but I think it's like most predominantly an issue in Japan. So seeing this story told, which is like the isekai itself, like the isekai aspects itself isn't as good as Shangri-La Frontier. I'm only on episode like 4 or 5 right now, but like the real life discussion around like video games as escapism and like finding a community in video games, people being like, that's not real, is actually really compelling. It's really good.
It's interesting because it's like, you talk about it like, right, you're saying the like agoraphobia like phenomenon in Japan is like an issue, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Goodnight. What is it?
Goodnight World.
Goodnight World?
Yeah.
Good title, considering what it's about.
Yeah.
I like that. It's interesting that it's like, if people are able to escape into this video game, they're able to like survive in their home and they're like happy. It's interesting that like society is like, no, you're living wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because it's like, I relate to that in the sense that it's like, we are workaholics.
Yeah.
Like, I am constantly putting out content and constantly like sending shit to my editor. And like, people are always like, you need to take a vacation. You got to do this and that. And I'm like, I am so stressed out on vacation and so happy when I work that just because like the average person's perception of work is that it's miserable and that like vacation is happy, like it's funny that that means I'm living incorrectly. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It is kind of funny because it's like when I get back from vacation, I'm like, thank God. Like, I'm just like I love, like, I do genuinely enjoy vacation. Like, China was probably my favorite vacation I've ever been on. And that's only because before I go on vacation, I double my workload to make sure that my posting schedule doesn't change. Right. So I'm like, all right, cool. Everything is covered. I'm still like, technically work is still getting done because of like the 90-hour weeks I put in before I went on vacation. And like the second I get home, I'm like, I need, because like I'm such a psychopath, and like Dorothy can attest to this. When I get home, I just start working immediately. Like, it'll be 9 p.m. We'll land after a 13-hour flight back from China. I'll get home and I'll just like start cleaning the house, and I'll like start writing scripts and all that. And Dorothy like, can you come just hang out on the couch? And I'm like, I'm switched on. It's like I've been off for 2 weeks. I undid the switch and like the gates opened.
Right.
So like it's definitely like it is similar. It's like your perception of reality is the only correct perception of reality. It's like, it's a cool study in that. So, but at the same time, what's really funny is Shangri-La Frontier, and less Goodnight World, but like Shangri-La Frontier is also basically just solo leveling. Like it is a story about a boy with 2 swords who puts a bunch of points in a thing that most people don't usually put points in. So he becomes the most broken character in the entire world, and then he goes to a bunch of boss battles in a bunch of different areas to like fight against like a bunch of like cool looking differing bosses. And then he uses like the biggest similarity between Shangri-La Frontier and solo leveling is that occasionally he'll be like piercing stab, or like he'll use like his like jumping ability or something like that. And I was like, that is the entire premise of solo leveling. He's like, I got in a bunch of fights, I got a ridiculous amount of extra levels. He was like, oh, apparently fighting the wolf gives you a bunch of levels, and he went up like 20 levels. And I'm like, first off, in any RPG ever, if you don't fucking win, you're not getting XP.
You don't get dick.
Could you imagine in World of Warcraft, it was like, oh, well, we ran the raid and like we almost won. Here's 3 levels. No.
I know.
Never happened. Can you imagine? It's like that for me is the consequence. It's like, if I die here, I just spent 3 hours grinding and I'm not going to get the XP or the loot. That's my thing.
I know. That is a weird, like, no game has ever done this ever-ism.
Like
in a
every
show.
hit you get XP?
Yeah.
Since when? Ever. Never. Could you imagine?
I know, that's super weird.
Imagine just leveling up like 5 times in the middle of a fight. It's like, cool. This fight just got easier by sheerly through the fact that I am now a higher level than when I started the fight.
True. That is weird that it's like, as you fight it, it is inherently getting easier, but not because you're getting better.
Yeah.
It's because your character, like the numbers are just becoming in your favor.
Yeah. So it's like, that's the lack of consequences for me. But this coming out the season before solo leveling, when it's like, obviously they're different. Like they're very like, because there's gonna be people who be like, oh, solo leveling's way better. I get it. But like in the core premise, it's like very identical, and it also coming out side by side with another VR anime that's like, I don't know, Netflix pushed it on to me. It's probably not pushing it on to anybody else because Netflix knows me very well. But like, it's just funny that all of these like synchronicities are happening, and I'm just like, maybe I'll just get back into isekai.
You're already back in it.
I'm fucking, listen.
By virtue of making me watch Shangri-La each week.
I've been itching for, okay, but if we don't talk about Shangri-La, what are we going to have? Undead Unlock?
Well, you know what's one?
You want to catch up with Tokyo Revengers? Like, come on.
Well, you know what? I was thinking about this today, is that you left your last podcast because they were doing like episode by episode reviews of the Hawkeye show. And I was like driving, I was like, oh, we kind of just do that.
What do you mean?
With Jujutsu Kaisen.
Here's my thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's because Jujutsu Kaisen is the biggest thing in anime right now.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my thing. Yes, we do episodic. So it's like, oh, if you're not keeping up with like, oh, the anime or the manga that we're reading, then like, what are you listening for? But the thing is, what's different about this and the Weeb Weekly, which is an incredible podcast, I think it's still running, maybe go listen to it, is that we go off on tangents. And we just talk about like anime and manga as a whole.
Right.
Like, it's like we talk about like the future of manga, like we get into a complex conversation about porn.
Right,
You know,
of course,
things.
yeah.
It's like, so I think we're
nuanced.
I think if I had to describe this podcast, which we're almost 40 episodes in at this point, which is insane.
Yeah.
What should we do? Well, by the way, we want to do a Halloween special next week. Give us suggestions. Like, maybe we'll do a poll, maybe put them in the comments. Like obviously I think cosplay is going to be necessary, but like, should we watch a spooky anime and talk about it?
Yes.
Spooky anime movie? Do spooky anime movies exist? Probably.
The only thing that comes to mind is Perfect Blue.
Oh,
We can
watch Perfect Blue.
Or Hellsing.
Ultimate?
A few episodes of Hellsing Ultimate. Or Perfect Blue.
If we're gonna do anything, we do Hellsing abridged. Abridged is better than Ultimate.
Really?
Oh, for 100% sure, yes.
I know that that's apparently the case with Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
People say that. Interesting.
No, Abridged is like Hellsing Ultimate is a lot of fun. Like, do watch it. Like, watch Hellsing Ultimate first. Abridged is better.
I love Hellsing Abridged. I was so sad when it was done. When it just ended out of nowhere. I didn't know that was like
that happens with all the Abridges though. It was like Team 4-Star like couldn't do Dragon Ball anymore because it was just like copyright hell.
Well, Team 4-Star did Hellsing Abridged also. And that was like when Dragon Ball Abridged was still going.
Yeah.
And so when Hellsing Abridged ended, I was like at the point where I was like, these can't end. This is anime. What are you talking about? Anime doesn't stop.
Never once.
Yeah.
Like, it was like when Mob Psycho finished, like, a couple of seasons ago. I was like, I haven't had an anime end on me in years.
I know, it hurts.
Like, since Naruto. It's like, it literally feels like losing somebody. Like, it's like, I genuinely, like, because Bleach hasn't ended. Hunter x Hunter hasn't ended. Like, FMAB ended, but I feel like FMAB ended in, like, 2009. That was, like, before I gained sentience.
Yeah.
It was like, if the show was over before I was 18...
Who cares?
Exactly. Yeah. But like gaining sentience at 18 and then being like, oh, I'm now growing with these shows. AOT, MHA, you know, JJK, all those shows haven't ended yet.
That's how I felt when you were like, I was behind you in Buddy Daddies. And you were like, yeah, it's the last episode ever. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You fool.
I have watched very few, like I've watched a ton of 24 episode anime, but I've watched very few what panned out to be 12 or 24 episode anime weekly.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I would, like, basically my relationship with 12 episode and 24 episode anime is that, like, sometimes this doesn't happen anymore, unfortunately. I guess it's, like, kind of happening right now with Goodnight World. But, like, some point when I was, like, between 18 and 24, I'd be like, I'm sad, gonna find a 24 to 12 episode anime and just crush it in a night.
Yeah.
Like, I watched the entirety of No Game, No Life's first season. Or, no, no, there might be a second season. But the first 12 episodes in one sitting. And, like, that's just what I would do. I would just eat an anime whole, you know? And, like, and I just don't do that anymore.
Right, yeah.
But, like, so, like, sitting down and watching a 12 to 24 episode anime weekly, like, you get invested in it. You're like, oh, I just checked in for a half a year and now it's fucking gone. That was, like, me with Vivi of the Fluorite Eyes. I was, like, it was 20 episodes and I was like, what do I do with myself now?
I didn't realize you saw that one.
It's so good.
It's gorgeous. I know that. I haven't seen it? No.
The problem is I don't think there's a lot of like reactionary value in it for you because it's kind of that show where everyone's like, that was incredible. It's like 86. Everyone was like, that was great. Yeah. Let's never talk about it again.
No, there's some shows that are like too good for reaction content.
Yeah.
Like no one wants to see me talk about like ranking of kings, you know, in a reaction sense.
No, you're right. Because it's like, too like, you're like, it's like a feel good thing. And it's like, I don't know, it's like, you're distracting.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I am worsening this product.
Exactly. Like, I feel like for a anime to be reacted to, it has to be like either stupid or like, there has to be like trashy moments.
Yeah.
It's like you would like Soul Eater right now. It's like every time Blair shows up, you're like, all right.
Yeah.
Enough of the titties.
Yeah.
There's got to be like something to joke about. With Ranking the Kings, you're just like, that little deaf boy. I would give my fucking life for him.
Please hear.
Yeah.
Please.
Literally all I want. It's all right. He has Kage. Literally, have you seen Ranking of Kings? You've seen the whole thing?
The first season. Season 2 like came out this season. We didn't talk about it. Yeah.
What? No.
Like season 2, not like part 2.
It's coming out now?
Yeah.
There's more?
Yeah.
He already ranked the Kings. He is the king.
It's happening. It's coming out.
That's like after like Denji kills the Death Devil.
I'm pretty sure.
They ranked the Kings.
Hold on.
They did the One Piece.
Hold on.
They like Naruto, I don't know, got off the swing. Like the anime is over.
I don't think so.
And I like genuinely I believe you. I have no reason to doubt you. It's just like weird. It's just like a
it's strange.
Like sometimes you just gotta hang it up. Just like, hey, we're done. Like we did the whole thing. Apparently
season 2 came out April 14th, so a bit ago.
Okay, yeah, we missed it entirely.
Yeah, we super missed it.
Wait, that means it's done.
I don't know.
Is there a whole nother season of Ranking of Kings we just haven't seen?
I know I haven't seen it. Did you watch it when it came out in April to June 16th? 2023?
No way.
Then you
missed it. June?
Yeah.
June was a week ago.
Yes.
June was like legitimately a week ago. Yeah. It was like I would have remembered if I was doing something.
That's why I thought it was happening now.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, apparently it wasn't good because no one was talking about it. That's
not what that means always, though. Sometimes things are so good, no one talks about it.
When Ranking of Kings came out the first time, everyone was like, oh yeah, Boji best boy.
Yeah, but like, no one talked about Odd Taxi. And people love that. No one talked about Licorice Recoil, and that won a bunch of awards.
People yelled at us up and down when we brought up Licorice Recoil.
Like a single person yelled at us, and we kept bringing it back up.
That's genuinely fair. And then we're like, we're going to watch it. Then we never did.
No, we absolutely never did. But I'm saying with anime especially, the majority of anime watchers just want some like flashy nonsense.
They just want formulaic bullshit. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's not like an insult or anything, but that's like why like, you know, what's it called? Like Black Clover is like semi-huge and like the monster anime wasn't. Or like...
What do you mean the monster? Oh, like as in Monster of the Year. Yeah. My thing is, so if every season, once a season, there is a show that comes out that's a legitimate masterpiece, but it's weird. And that show will get a cult-like following, and it's usually the same people who gravitate towards it. They're like, it's the Odd Taxi, it's a Licorice Recoil, it's like High Card. You know, it's like that kind of shit. It's like
these masterpieces.
Yeah, these absolute. Hey, got a second season. But like everyone's like, all right, this is not. It's not like a tournament arc. It's not like a little boy becoming the king of his universe. And it's like, all right, we're gonna enjoy this. It's Bungo Stray Dogs. Like it's like that kind of thing where it's like, all right, that's kind of outside of like the scope of standard shonen. So it's gonna be great. People are gonna love it. But fuck, is it not gonna get picked up on the mainstream? Yeah, because the mainstream is so dominated already. Like it's already like apparently there's not space for Chainsaw Man.
No, I know. Like there's so much. There's too much for us to keep up with. Yeah. The average person who watches like one anime like every now and then can't keep up with shit.
You know what? I'm going to say it. Yeah. I don't even think we exist on the upper spectrum of people who keep up with anime.
No, not at all. I don't even keep up with you.
Exactly. Like, I don't even I watch like 3 to 4 anime a season, and I feel like that's putting up like, obviously we do more than the people who are like just waiting on Attack on Titan to end, but like, I feel like I feel like I'm average. I feel like the amount of anime I consume is average.
You're an average like anime fan. I'm like higher than like the person who's just waiting for Attack on Titan to end is like the average person. Yeah. Who's interested in anime.
I'd say of all of the people who have been to anime conventions, right. I'm the middle. I'm the middle line.
Agreed.
But like your average person is like, yeah, like I work in finance. I watched a couple episodes on Attack on Titan, like in college, because one of my weird friends got me into it, and now I'm just waiting for it to end.
Right, yeah, exactly.
That is a conversation I've had with all of my non-anime friends. Yeah. They're just like, oh yeah, Attack on Titan will finish eventually. And I'm like, you know what? Good enough. I love that for you.
I know. But yeah, I like, video games are kind of also experiencing this year, where there is so much good shit coming out that something will come out, it'll get talked about for a week, and then the next good thing comes out, and you don't hear about it.
Staying power.
Baldur's Gate almost exclusively has. Like Starfield, you don't hear dick about that anymore.
Probably because
but it's like,
wasn't that good?
If it came out any other year, you'd hear about it for like, all right, how about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom? You heard about that for like a week.
It was first off, I didn't play it, but like, was it as good as people thought? Like,
it's sick. It's better than Breath of the Wild, which we heard about for fucking decades. Like, well,
that's because, like you said, Breath of the Wild came out in a year where nothing else happened, and everyone was like, "All right, yeah, the Switch is where it's at." And then they were like, "All right, we're gonna re-release this game in Tears of the Kingdom, but now you can make mechs."
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's like, all these games, like in no other year could Tears of the Kingdom come out, and now that we're near like Game of the Year season, in no other year could that game come out and people be like, there's genuine competition.
Yeah. Because my thing is like, well, so now, and then like Spider-Man 2's coming out, and everyone's like, everyone's already saying it's going to be Game of the Year, which is like, I hate when people do this.
It super won't.
It's so like, it's literally like, oh, look at the web slinging mechanics. Like, fuck off. Like, I was like, the momentum looks so good. But like, dude, Baldur's Gate had like 300 possible endings, and like you could romance a man with tentacles. I'm sorry, I don't give a shit that you can switch effortlessly between Miles Morales and Peter Parker. Like, you can fast travel in a second and a half. I don't give a shit.
It's gonna be fun. It's such a like. I mean, I haven't played it. I don't know, but the first one, everyone was like, this game's the tits. This is the best superhero game there is. Yeah. It's so not even near as good as the Arkham games were. Yeah. And it's still, I expected this will be very, like a great 8 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be fun. Like, here's the thing. I only ever played Spider-Man when I was violently high in college. Okay. And I would sit on my couch and I would be like, I'm swinging through New York. I would I don't smoke weed. Like I didn't smoke weed a lot, but like I would smoke weed like a couple of times with my college friends because all of them were stoners. So occasionally they'd be like, dude, we're not going to leave the house. We're going to order some takeout food and we're just going to play either. There was this one game where you were like a diver and you would just like swim with whales and it had the most beautiful soundtrack.
Endless Ocean?
No, it's made by like
Abzu.
Bingo. Yeah. Abzu.
The second you were like, this game, I was like, I'm going to fucking know the title. I'm going to say it.
This is why we have each other. You bounce anime off me, I bounce video games off you. So I would just play either that or Spider-Man and I'd be like, I'm swimming with the whales. Or I would be like genuinely swinging through New York as Spider-Man. Kind of fun.
It's very cool.
But like I only ever played it when like blitzed. And I think, and I have a TikTok about this sitting in my drafts right now. It's because I was an Xbox kid growing up that I never got on the God of War or Spider-Man train because I just didn't like. I just like one. I got one. Like it just wasn't an option for me. Yeah. And now that I'm fully grown, I'm just like, I don't give a shit. I just don't care. Like I don't have time. Yeah. I didn't play any of the God of Wars. It was like, oh, Ragnarok's game of the year, and I was like, I'm not gonna buy a PS5 for this. I don't want to like plug a console into anything. Like it just sounds exhausting. Yeah. I was like, if I can get it on my PC, I'll play it. And I was like, so I played Elden Ring 1, and I just don't care. And it's like, my thing is like, a question for everybody out in the crowd right now. Is there a thing, and this is mostly for you because you have the capacity to answer.
Yeah, because I can answer.
Yeah, currently. Is there a thing where you see it and you're like, wow, everyone loves that. Fuck, do I not give a shit? I would love, you're like, this is an answer for anyone in the crowd here. And then you ask, and then like our Discord mod Panda Mom just comes like, I'll answer Danny, like switches into the chair. Sparta kicks you out of the chair. Yeah.
Is there something everyone cares about that I haven't?
Yeah. I guess bring it to anime.
Good call.
Yeah.
Something everyone Jujutsu Kaisen season 1 for sure. That was my thing where I just like don't fathom why everyone likes it. You're saying, it was that. It was like Jujutsu Kaisen season 1 to me was the most average mid Black Clover ass. I'm offending 2 fan bases now.
Great, awesome. 2 very small fan bases. I'm sure that'd go for great.
It was just like it's like Black. It'd be if people talked about Black Clover with the violence and ferocity that they do Jujutsu Kaisen. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I was like, oh, this sucks, but I was like, what's going on here? Like, why is it like this?
Yeah, why does everybody give a shit?
Yeah, it's like Kagurabachi, where I'm like, I saw Jujutsu Kaisen as what Kagurabachi is currently, where it was just like,
I'm not going to agree, but I understand the metaphor.
And now season 2's way better. The Gojo shit is like top tier. The Yuji stuff, like I said last week, pulled me back from the Gojo stuff. Still not as good as the beginning of season 2. Should we transition?
We should.
Yeah, boy, should we?
Because you brought up Yuji.
Yeah.
This is the episode he takes a step forward. Do you agree or do you not agree?
In what regard?
Like, all right, so you're always like, oh, Yuji is he's the MC of JJK, and every time I see him, I like let out a collective sigh. I hate him being here, all of this.
Yeah.
This episode is the start of Yuji losing his smile. And like you can see it when he's battling, like he's like trying to kill Choso. Like it's like, obviously something he battled with. Is the fact that he killed those 2, like, they're not humans, but the Death Womb paintings, and now he's, like, trying to do it again. And you can, like, see, like, he's, like, got a cut across his face. He's, like, got this whole thing going on where he's, like, damaged, and he's, like, beginning to lose his smile. He's in, like, a perpetual frown the entire time. Did you feel this episode made you gravitate towards Yuji at all, as an MC?
Yes.
Okay.
Because this fight, what this fight does super well that like the Shangri-La one doesn't.
POV.
Is that POV's rad. Yeah. POV's always rad. It wasn't as good as the Mob Psycho POV, which like...
Oh, the one where he keeps flashing in between people?
Where he's like, it's like a gun POV. Someone's trying to shoot the teleporter.
Yeah.
And you just see this like wobbly Call of Duty ass screen, and then he teleports in front of him and grabs him.
Yeah.
That literally knocked me out of my chair. Like I stood up, ran upstairs, grabbed a friend, and brought him down.
Come on, the Chozo doing piercing
the laser,
blood.
Yeah, super cool.
I felt like I was playing Doom. Like
it was so Doom.
It was exactly Doom. He was like literally just shooting a laser of blood at him, and I don't think it's. I don't think it's drawn like that in the manga. It's been a while since I read the Shibuya incident, but like I don't remember ever at a point getting the POV of Chozo chasing down Yuji with a laser.
I think it'd be really confused. I think if I saw that in black and white in manga, I'd be like, what am I looking at?
Yeah, like
why are his hands pissing right now?
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, it's like also like, is that Yuji? Like I'm trying to like see beyond the hands.
Exactly. But like POV was sick. The fight gets the best when they take it to the bathroom because it gets so fucking like dirty and desperate.
It's
like it turns into like
brawl.
It's just a brawl. It's just like an Irish tavern brawl. Feels like a fight you'd see in Old Boy.
Yeah.
You know?
I think there is a reference to Old Boy. No, it's not Old Boy. There's a reference. There was, oh God, somebody told me it recently and they were like, I think it was actually in our group chat. Holy shit. IDK the anime. No, never mind. There was somebody texted me about it and was like, oh, the blank reference was really cool. And now I'm not seeing who it was. Never mind. Maybe it didn't happen. Maybe I hallucinated it. But apparently there was some reference in the battle to like something iconic. And I'm now totally spacing what it was.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I think it might have been Old Boy. But some of the best fight choreography. So obviously, yes, like the laser scene with Chozo shooting like at Yuji and cutting down like the entirety of the train station.
I like the big circle.
The circle was sick
Very
as well.
good.
Yes, like boost out over it.
Yeah.
The whole like it's such once again such a Gegegatami thing to be like the reason that the water is working to like against this blood is because of the coagulants and all of that. And I like once again like does that make your eyes glaze over or are you like thank God we got the explanation?
I hated it.
Really?
I hated that shit. That was where I was like, fuck, I do still hate Yuji era JJK.
Why?
I don't like hate. I just hated that shit. I was like, shut up. Like, he has blood powers. Just say that.
And make blood wet and now hard to control. Like, that's what you want.
Here's the thing.
You're like, oh no, my blood is goopy, and that's all we get.
Well, because it starts with him. He does like the blood arrow. Like he does the first blood arrow. We got a fucking like TED talk about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shut up. I don't need to know the science behind like how he compresses it and pressurizes it and shit. But
because it's a kind of simple concept. It's just like, I'm shooting my blood at you.
It's your blood magic. But
they
like, whatever.
They literally need to be like, oh, he's able to compress it, and because of the compression of his blood and the hemoglobin, he's able to get it to the speed of sound. And you're like, who fucking asked? Besides power scalers.
I took one note. I took a single note.
From the whole episode.
For this whole podcast.
That's wild. It's also, I'd like to give everybody a behind the scenes. So both me and Danny have our phones out every time we're recording. Mine has been notes the entire time.
Yeah.
Danny has had the screen for Frog Type Beat open for an hour and 5 minutes waiting for the opportunity to play it.
In case, because we don't have this program yet.
We will.
I have a single note. It says, spontaneous thrombosis. Who gives a shit?
It's for people like me. And honestly, the problem is Gegegatami being like, I need to make sure everybody understands exactly how things work in this universe is why nobody, like your average person has no fucking clue what's going on in JJK. Like it's why every video that I post about JJK gets more views than everything else because nobody knows what's going on because he explains it too fucking well.
It's so, but then it's not a good explanation.
Yeah, that's
he explains it too much.
Yeah.
It's not too well, but I get the necessity of it with the water because that's when I'm like, what is this? Like if he just like went into the water and his blood stopped working and he was like, my weakness is water. Yeah. I'd be like, fucking what? Why?
Literally, but here's what he could have done. He could have just been like, the blood has been diluted and now it's harder to control.
True.
Easy as that.
I hated all of that. I like half of it. I like stop reading. After the spontaneous thrombosis, I was like, I'm never reading a subtitle in this episode anymore.
Even I checked out. Even I checked out on the spontaneous. Like I know how it works, and like him being like, oh yeah, they usually don't coagulate the blood in their body because like of the possibility of like a coagulated blood clot hitting their heart would like possibly kill them. Eyes glaze over.
Here's what pissed me off. how dare they not at least tell me what thrombosis is?
That's my thing. Like high level Grey's Anatomy, like fucking like terminology here. And like you expect the average viewer to be like, oh, of course.
I know.
Thrombosis.
Like I'm Dr. House over here watching my fucking fight anime.
They could literally just be like, oh yeah, coagulated blood might make its way into one of his arteries and kill him. That's like all they had to say, but they're like, no, they'll get thrombosis.
It's ridiculous. And then the only other thing I don't love is that Yuji heals. Just in general, I just hate that he heals.
He does.
Because he got like the shit rocked. He lost a hand in season 1 and he healed that.
Well, he didn't heal it.
Well, okay, Nick.
Sukuna heals it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the same man, essentially.
But the thing is not really, because Sukuna only heals his body when he's in control. Swap. Yeah, and that's a fucking issue. It's like Sukuna's in control.
I assume he's about to swap. Because his fucking shoulder is now his hip bone. Like
I don't know. I think Sukuna looks comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He even look at Sukuna was like, oh, he's about to die. He was like, oh, to be beaten by such trash. Like Sukuna was gonna let death, take him.
Well, so it's just that like when Yuji, like I hate immortal characters in general. Like
it is kind of annoying.
Not Jujutsu Kaisen. Bungo Stray Dogs. The like protagonist is just straight up immortal.
Not Rampo.
The
blonde little bitch boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got white hair. Atsushi.
Close enough.
He's like immortal. He's a were-tiger, which of course means he can heal.
I mean, that's what, like, once you cross were with tiger.
Yeah.
What else are you gonna get?
Obviously. I hate that. I hate when they do that as an explanation. It's like, no, he's a were-tiger and he can heal. He has 2 powers, you son of a bitch.
Also, that's the thing, is that there's a happy medium between thrombosis and because.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Boruto literally, Boruto is currently existing on the other end of that spectrum right now. I'm going to bring it back to JJK in a second, but like Boruto's new chapter 3 of Two Blue Vortex just came out, and he is like, it's like, oh, Boruto has a new ability. It's called the Rasengan Uzuhiko. And they were like, oh, the Rasengan Uzuhiko uses the rotational power of the earth. And then that was fucking it. They were literally like, okay, it was like, apparently, so
what does it do?
Quickly describe exactly this ability is that he basically surrounds himself in a Rasengan. And it's like, but it's not like a big swirling ball.
Is it like Neji's like palm
rotation?
Thing? Yeah.
That's what people thought
Visually?
it was. That's what people thought it was going to be. No, it's just like wispy air surrounds him. So it's like wispy air goes in circles around his arms, around his chest, around his head, and his legs. And if you touch him, that wispy circle goes to you, and it makes you dizzy. It makes so if you touch him or he touches you, you get dizzy, and you
got dizzy jutsu.
You get dizzy forever, and then you die. The dizziness fucking kills you.
Oh my god!
So all he needs to do to kill people now is either be touched or touch somebody.
Whoa.
And then it's GG's. And the explanation for this was he's taking the rotation of the earth and applied it to a Rasengan.
So do you think the mangaka has ruined Boruto forever?
No, it's like objectively the ability is cool.
Because it's insta-death, though. It's like an instant death touch.
Sort of.
That's too powerful.
That's the thing.
One would think.
But the thing is, power scaling in Boruto is absolutely insane. Like the final bad guy of Boruto is the god of the universe.
Okay.
He exists in a separate universe because he's transcended like what you can accomplish in a physical body.
Right.
So like they have to get ridiculously powerful, and it's a possibility that this ability is tied to that god. But like, so the ability is cool. It looks cool. It works cool. But like being like, oh, he gets dizzy because he's using the rotation of the earth. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? And they're not like, oh, because like now he feels the like spin of the earth, or oh, he's using the entire force of like the kinetic energy of a spinning earth. Like no explanation whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a line between thrombosis and ninja magic.
Yeah.
Just be like, fucking give me like one panel of being like, this is how it works.
Yeah, right.
That's all I ask for.
No, I agree. Back to JJK.
Bingo.
What else? Good fight. Cool fight.
Some of the best choreography I've seen this year.
It was very Naruto inspired.
Yeah. Like straight hands.
Yeah, all hands, baby.
Yeah.
But no, it just felt so fucking desperate. I like when Yuji kicks him through like six bathroom stalls.
Yeah, with both feet.
Yeah, there's a lot of like bathroom parkour, which I like. There's a lot of Yuji like break dancing his way like out of holds and shit.
I mean, even before the battle began, it was like Inumaki comes and Yuji's like, oh, right, you got this, save all the people. And then he just bounces off a bunch of signs.
Yeah.
Like he literally just like, he did like,
yeah, that was wild.
He did the fucking froppy down. Like he literally froppied across like all of Shibuya.
He's just like fucking mob psychoed his way out, where he like turned into just an outline. It was like, all right, I'll catch you later.
Yeah. Bing, 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 bing. Like, the best comparison is he Bellamy'd out.
Yeah.
Like he's like One Piece Bellamy'd out. Like he like made his legs springs and ripped.
That was wild. I've never asked you this, and you can't really answer, I suppose.
Love that.
Because you know where the manga goes. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about Yuji's powers just being punch? Yeah, that's what I figured. That face is what I figured.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Always punch.
Yeah.
Currently, still punch.
Okay.
Like, it's like, so up to the manga, where the manga is currently, as far as we know, Yuji's powers still punch.
It's like a worse Deku, right?
So, here's the thing, though. There is some slight inkling of, like, possibility that now abilities more than punch. Mm-hmm. So, like, there might be more than punch on the horizon, but there's, like, kind of an ongoing meme in the JJK community where everyone's like, oh, yeah, his domain expansion is just left, right, good night.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally, it's just, like, people are thinking he might have a domain expansion that, like, pulls you into a fucking cage match.
That'd be
like,
sweet.
Right? That would be sick. So, like, everyone's like, oh, how is Yuji going to deal with, like, you know, domains and domain expansions? And it's like, oh, he might use a simple domain, something like that. And, like, that's what everybody wants. It's just like, I fucking love it. Like, in a world of curse speech or, like, copy or domain expansions, Hollow Purple, the main character just being, like, just like you, like, home and security. Like, that's literally iconic.
Yeah, I think I like it less because I just don't like Yuji. Mm. Like, I like it on Deku, and I hate when Deku gets more powers.
I was going to say, Deku is literally, he has more powers than everybody in the show except for 2 people.
I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate him now. I like when his power, I like when the extent of his, like, versatility was, like, a long-range flick.
Yeah.
Like, I liked that, and
the
that
invention
was cool.
of, like, Fajin, or not Fajin, like, him using his legs, like, shoot style was cool.
I like that Deku's power was super strength, and they fucking, like, milked that to the best of their abilities, to the point where now they have to give him new abilities.
Yeah. 7 new abilities.
Yeah, that sucks. That's stupid.
Oh my god, I completely forgot. MHA also had a massive week.
Oh, really?
Massive week.
Big manga week.
Yeah, I can't believe I blew past that. I can't talk about any of it without spoiling it. It's like Chainsaw Man, I could be like, oh, the final baddie.
Yeah. Nothing.
No,
wow.
like it's like so like, let's just say there was a life trade.
Damn.
Like, there was a loss and there was a gain.
Right.
And it was
a gain. That's crazy.
Well, like we had presumed initially there was a loss.
Yeah.
And now we've realized there was not a loss.
Okay.
But there was also another loss.
Gotcha.
And it was
crazy.
Big.
That's wild.
MHA has been going. What's crazy to me right now is that I made a TikTok about this as well, where I'm like, JJK right now is not only the biggest manga on Earth, but also the biggest anime on Earth.
Yeah.
And I don't think, like, outside of, like, One Piece.
JJK is?
Well, like,
bigger than Attack on Titan?
Like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Attack on Titan's not coming out.
You mean airing?
What do you mean?
Like, what do you mean by biggest?
Like, currently, the number one talks about anime and manga, at least I think. But, like, obviously, One Piece exists. But, like, One Piece has done this a couple of times where it's like, oh, like, currently we're at the end. It was, like, kind of weird. There was, like, we're at the end of Wano. It was, like, when we hit the end of Wano in the One Piece manga, and then there was, like, a couple of cool fights happening in the, like, when they were in the early parts of Wano in the anime. It was like, okay, cool. One Piece is now currently controlling manga and anime.
Yeah.
But, like, JJK right now has, like, obviously the final battles going on and the Shibuya incident. So it's, like, the biggest manga.
Right.
Like, the most talked about manga and the most talked about anime.
Yeah.
MHA is getting so, like, buried.
Getting robbed.
It's crazy because, like, MHA, there is stuff of equal importance that's happening. Like, equal importance to what's happening in the JJK manga is happening in the MHA manga right now. No one's talking about.
No one cares.
Like, I'm like maybe I'm just in the wrong circles. Like, solid possibility, like, the FYP is tailoring a bunch of, but, like, I want to talk about MHA because it's going insane.
I think My Hero lost a lot of popularity with season 5.
Yeah.
What season are we on now?
So 6 just aired.
Yeah, season 5 dropped the popularity of the anime.
Gentle Criminal? Is that what that is?
So hard. No, that's post. Gentle Criminal is the end of season 4.
Gotcha.
Season 5 is
1A,
the big
1B.
Doofenshmirtz dude.
Doofenshmirtz? You talking overall?
No, you don't even remember is the thing.
Doofenshmirtz.
He looks like Doofenshmirtz. He's like a big, buff dude, big, long, pointy nose.
Destro.
Yeah.
Read Destro.
That's him. That's season 5.
Yeah.
No one liked season 5. Animation was whack, and the story was just boring.
There was some cool moments though. What's her face? The blood girl. Not Toji. Tom. I don't think Tom. I think
Toji.
No, Toji is from JJK.
Tamaki. No?
Tamaki?
Maybe?
Not Tamaki.
Everyone knows who we mean.
Tori.
No.
Absolutely Tori.
Okay.
Yes. When Tori, the blood girl, was like, when like she stole Uchaku's abilities and then like made everybody fall, that was a sick moment.
Yeah.
Shigaraki destroying the entire city, that was pretty sick. His battle against Redestro was kind of cool.
There's good moments. I heard that like the manga fans like hated him. Like,
well, so the thing is, apparently, so the mangaka's like, whenever we like focus on the villains, my viewership, like my reading numbers go way down, which is like why he was like one, his health is declining, and two, he was like, I don't know if I want to finish this story because like the entire story, the end of the story is focused heavily on the villains, and he was like, everybody hates when I talk about the villains, and I'm like, I kind of like it. I love actually. I thought the My Villain Academia was My Hero Academia's best arc. I'm so contrary to this opinion. I loved focusing on the League of Villains.
I think the villain shit is like huge in America. And you also made a TikTok about this where it really gives you perspective at how little America matters in terms of anime production. And so like, I know a lot of Americans like saw the My Villain Academia arc as being the best and the biggest.
It was sick.
Japan doesn't like it. Like,
and that's all that matters. Like people need to realize like America's population, yes, is bigger than Japan's by a factor of 2.
Yeah.
But
not its anime watching population.
That's the thing, man. Like obviously there is a lot of anime watchers in America and that number is only going up. But like one, Americans aren't buying Blu-rays. Like that's only like a thing in like Japan. And like two, like it's the higher population people in Japan. It's like our interests will never truly dictate what happens in anime and manga.
Yeah, like
that's the craziest thing.
Everybody watches, not like everyone, but like anyone can watch anime in Japan. Like you could go up to like anyone, like an adult male, adult woman, like, and ask them, do you watch anime? And have a high chance of them saying yes.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you ask your average like 40-year-old, those chances are so slim.
Yeah. It's like, they sell Shonen Jump in every single convenience store.
Yeah.
Like it's like Shonen Jump and porn, which is wild. There's like you just like 7-Eleven sells porn. And you're just like, well, all right, I guess I'll just get my like dirty magazine and my Shonen Jump and head home.
Yeah.
Hope those wires don't cross.
Yeah.
Too fucking late. But like it is crazy. But like I think that will probably change with time as like other like international markets become larger. But like currently as it stands, like Chainsaw Man, if you go up to I'd say 10 Americans, and you say, since 2020, what's the best anime that's released? 3 out of 10 of them would say Chainsaw Man. But you go to Japan, 8 out of 10 say JJK. I don't know. 1 says Hell's Paradise, and I don't even know. Like, I don't know what the 10th person says, but like
Blue Lock.
Yeah, like Blue Lock, exactly. Like nobody is saying Chainsaw Man, and that's why Chainsaw Man is currently in like, are we getting season 2? Like hell. So it's like very interesting to see like you do not matter. How did we get here? MHA, because we were talking about My Villain Academia.
Yeah.
How did we get there?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, we are 3. We're talking about JJK
because we're talking about JJK and how it's blowing MHA out of the water.
Yeah,
because like there was like equal like things of equal circumstance happening. But like I don't know. Tell us in the comments like genuinely if you guys think like are you reading MHA? Are you keeping up with it? Are you excited? Maybe it's just because JJK's anime is currently coming out that like MHA feels as though it's getting blown out of the water. What?
We have so many viewers.
That's actually less than we've been at. We've been at holding a straight 39 the whole time. So yeah, one lower.
This whole time?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, in general.
Yeah.
38.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
A lot of people hanging out.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Shabbat and Shalom. So yeah, but basically crazy choreography, bathroom fight.
Yeah.
Love the Chozo focusing on him realizing Yuji was his brother. And then the 90s veneer of him being like them eating and like it like cutting it looked like a 90s anime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They did it before in the beginning of the season where like they show a flashback And not only do they put like a grain filter over it, but they like make it look like fucking Inuyasha.
Yeah.
It's so good. That's so sick.
It's really cool that they can just tap back into that.
Yeah.
And it's a kind of like jarring. It was jarring to go from that straight back to Choso. And I was like, oh my God, we've come so far.
That's just like so passionate. Like that is like a love for the medium.
Yeah, that's
to do that.
Knowing it's like a study of the history of anime to know how to trace it back exactly and do that.
Yeah, it's like that blows me away every time they do it. They all had some spaghetti. Yuji gave them spaghetti vision. That's fun. I don't know what's happening. I think Sekuna's fucking possessing him or like haunting him. He starts freaking out at the end.
Who, Yuji or Choso?
Choso.
No.
What's happening?
They're like, oh, Choso began to have memories that didn't exist.
Yeah, why? I thought Sekuna did that to him.
No.
Oh.
No, it just kind of like, it was like instinct that kicked in.
Weird. You can't tell me.
I can't tell you. Like, it's like, but yeah, Sukuna, it has nothing to do with Sukuna whatsoever. Sukuna was like committed to dying.
I thought Sukuna was saving Yuji. He was like, I'll possess this bitch.
I mean, it's on the horizon, but like, it's just like Sukuna has nothing to do with it. Sukuna's ready to die. As Sukuna and Yuji are preparing to die, as Choso's about to like kill him, he gets memories that didn't exist based off of something his body is telling him.
You know what's weird about Jujutsu Kaisen?
And most of it doesn't make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like the show pitched itself, and I don't know if it felt this way in the manga as well, but I feel like the show pitched itself as being like a form swapping anime. Like Yu-Gi-Oh!
Like
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Gotcha.
Where like I thought when a fight happens,
he was gonna be like, it's gonna be Sukuna time.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Sukuna time.
Yeah.
He becomes Sukuna once in the beginning of season 1 and then never again.
Well, it's because it's not good.
No, I know.
It's bad.
But that's what I'm saying. It's straight, like, that is what I thought the pitch was from the get-go. And then it's not.
Yeah.
And it's not like a criticism or anything, but it's funny that, like, I thought it was going to be like Danny Phantom. Like,
well, that's the thing. Everyone was like, oh, this is literally just like Naruto. It's like, oh, Yuji has like a demon inside of him.
True, it is more like that.
Well, the thing is, but it's also kind of not. Like, that's where JJK like separates itself from the standard shonen trope, is like Yuji and Sukuna do not get along and never will.
Neither did the tailed beast until like fucking years and years down the line.
Like 400 episodes.
Yeah.
But occasionally Kurama would like give power to Naruto, and sure, it would be like, oh, I'm giving power to you so to weaken the gate so eventually I can break out. But the thing is, like, the power was used collaboratively to like get Naruto out of situations because Kurama was like, I don't know, you're more convenient to me. Suguna's like, I'm gonna take over and I'm gonna kill your fucking friends.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole scene where Junpei, like when like Junpei dies and both Mahito and Sukuna are laughing at Yuji. Do you remember that scene?
Who's Junpei?
Junpei was like, remember that he like introduced that like side character who like Yuji walks around with at school, and Junpei like, and then like he gets transfigured into a human, like, he gets transfigured, and then Mahito and Sukuna are just laughing at him. And it's at that point you realize, oh, this will never be collaborative.
Yeah.
You're like, this is not willing. Yuji does not want this, and there will never be like a Sukuna mode, you know? It's it's a curse.
Yeah.
And that's what's really cool. Like, that's what breaks it away from like other anime in my mind, because it's not fucking Asta tapping into Libei's power. It's not Naruto tapping into Kurama's power. Like, there is a difference. Like, it's closer to Boruto with Momoshiki. It's actually exactly Boruto with Momoshiki.
Sure, whatever you say.
You don't even know what that means.
I have no idea.
That's wild to me.
I haven't watched Boruto.
You haven't finished Shippuden.
No.
I forget that.
Yeah.
Boruto also has like a god living inside of him who just does it. Like, he just takes him over and kills his friends.
Gotcha.
That's like how Sasuke lost his eye.
Whoa, crazy.
Boruto just stabbed him in the eye when he was taken over.
Gotcha.
So, like, it's actually fucking, wow. I should actually think about.
What should you think about?
I never realized that Boruto and JJK are very fucking similar.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to do a video about that.
Tune in on YouTube. I was just going to say.
I'm going to do a video about that. Yeah. Boruto and JJK are the same thing, but Boruto gets way more hate. JJK is done better, though. But yeah, so very good. I thought the art style, the POV switching, the choreography, everything, I think it was the best fight of the year, personally.
I think Gojo and Toji's better still.
Gojo and Toji. So like the first fight, like it's like when he's like the hollow blue, or just like the whole thing?
Yeah, hollow blue. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'd like the other thing I think
just like Toji That's like, if you just said, like, Toji versus Gojo, I wouldn't take. But if you lump in Geto's fight in there as well, that I might take. If you're just saying, like, the 3 episodes where Toji existed, I'd take that.
I think I just cared about Gojo and Toji's fight more. And like I said, there was, like, a big shock factor of, like, watching Toji, like, strategically and systematically take down Gojo, who is, like, we have known to be OP as long as we've known him.
Yeah.
Like, that was awesome. I think it looked a little better, but it doesn't take place in a dank bathroom.
That's
so
fair, yeah.
That helps. But also, like, I didn't love... I wish Yuji somehow figured out a way to beat him. Instead of the fucking robot telling him to coagulate his blood or whatever.
Okay, yes, fair. But I also like that Yuji loses.
I like that Yuji loses too, but that's because I hate Yuji. Okay, so now what do I really like? You know,
I love when we like break away from an anime trope and like it's like, oh, he found a way to win. No, like that's the thing. It's like this is the beginning of Yuji realizing A, he's weaker than he needs to be, and B, like he may not carry a lot of weight in this universe, and like that's like it all. Like the entirety of JJK is to grind Yuji into the dust, like into the ground, and then like currently he's on his like Phoenix, like he's like on a Phoenix Rising right now. So like it's like 245 chapters of like just like fight back, and then it's just like Yuji eventually like rising from the ashes.
Right. I think because you started this segment with being like, "Are you closer to liking Yuji?"
Yeah.
And the reason I'm not closer to liking Yuji. But I liked the episode. Like, I wasn't like, Yuji won. I liked the episode, but it's because, like, things are happening to Yuji. He's not getting better, though. Like, I like that he loses.
Yeah.
But he didn't, like, if he figured out a way to neutralize the blood effect and still lost, I'd love that. Yeah. Like, that would bring me so close. Like,
he's not smart.
That's like a Tanjiro thing.
He's not smart, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And I don't like him or that.
Left, right, good night. That's it. Big fiscal burr.
He hasn't done anything where I'm like Zenitsu, right? Hate Zenitsu. By the way, this could answer our question that we'll answer later.
Okay. What question are we answering later?
Your favorite thing about your least favorite character from last
week. Okay. Wait, which way did we go last week?
We did least favorite thing about
our favorite character. You're right, yeah.
Zenitsu, who I hate.
Yes.
All the time.
God, I'm so excited for you to get to the Infinity Castle arc, because that opinion will change.
Well, here's the thing. At the very least, even when I hated him, like, and I hate him less because he's hardly in the anime anymore, which is sick.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or recently he hasn't been. When he was like, when Inosuke was trying to get in that box and get to Nezuko and like kicking at it, and Zenitsu's just hugging it, and he's like, I don't know what's in this box, but Tanjiro cares about it. Yeah. And Tanjiro told me to protect it. I'm not fucking moving.
Yeah.
That ruled. That was when I was like, you know what? No matter how, like, Zenitsu can get worse, and I will still like him a little.
You'll still have that moment.
Yeah, like, that, I respected that so much that, like, if he got better as a person, could have been one of my favorite anime characters ever.
You know what's crazy is that they tried to do that with Mineta. They tried to be like, and they've tried like multiple times. It's like, oh, look at Mineta have this heroic moment. Like, it was like in his battle against Miss Midnight, where like, I don't even remember, it was like I think it was like the provisional test or something, where he like threw a bunch of things at Miss Midnight and like blew past her. And like now in like the manga currently, they're trying to be like, oh, look at Mineta help. And I'm like, this man could cure fucking cancer and I wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah. But it's like,
you struggling?
My mic is slowly falling.
Do you need me to? You need me to tighten something?
It's this.
Is it this?
Yeah. Buddy, come on. What if I do this?
Keep it up.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Spit on it. Okay, there we go. $400 mic, wet.
Anyway, I'll hold it. But that's why. So yeah, Zenitsu has that moment. Yuji hasn't had that moment where I'm like, despite his personality, he has done this to prove his worth.
Not his rage moment after Junpei's death? Just laying out Mahito, not saving Nanami from the domain expansion against Mahito? That didn't do it for you? Like when he breaks down the domain expansion to like save Nanami?
No, I know what you mean. And like, not really. Like,
Wild.
he's okay. He's not as bad as he started. Like, I hated him in the beginning, but I'm saying this episode.
I just don't get how you. He's so funny. He's so cute.
He's not
so
funny. That's the problem.
He is funny.
He's just not funny.
His relationship with Megumi, his boyfriend, is very cute.
I don't like Megumi. Megumi's an uglier, lamer Aki from JJK.
It's a wild thing to say because I feel like your fan base loves Megumi.
He looks like a fucking Axe hair gel model.
He is literally the most agreed upon to be gay character in all of JJK.
That's fine. He can be gay and suck.
Well,
in fact, they're hand in hand.
I was fucking...
Let's go!
We were both heading the same direction. Please pause. Sorry. What? No, go on. Because of the penises. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Are we sick of it yet? Good.
Let's go.
Because we gotta go through the pain to get to the good.
But yeah, like this episode, Yuji has done nothing to what?
It's just the wide. It's so far back. That's
this is as close as I can be.
You're leaning.
This is as close as I can be.
Do the side thing. What are you doing?
I'm fighting with your mic.
No, first off, it's our mic. Yeah, that's what you usually do.
There we go. Now look at this.
Look at what?
That.
You're centered.
No, I'm not.
It doesn't look.
Wow, that was not a frog type beat moment.
That was so unfrog. That was a toad type beat right there. Super not frog type.
But no, just this episode didn't do anything. Like, good fight. It's cool. Yuji didn't do anything that I'm like, oh, fuck, that's sick of Yuji specifically.
Mm-hmm. I don't agree with you, but listen, that's fine. That's what the podcast is about.
I guess so.
Contrary opinions clashing. Yeah. People will agree with me. Listen, I'll come out of this clean.
What did he do in this episode for you?
To fucking kick a man through 6 stalls.
That's all it takes? Anyone can kick a man through 6 stalls in anime. Mineta could have done that.
No, I would love to see Mineta try.
That's all it takes.
First off, Mineta's legs aren't long enough to reach the other side.
Mineta could easily figure out a way to get a man through 6 stalls.
Listen, if Mineta could kick a man through 6 stalls, we could not beat him in a fight. I one stall, maybe.
I don't think you can beat Mineta in a fight.
I would fucking rip him in half.
I don't think so. You ever see that scene in The Incredibles with all the sticky balls? That's you.
That's Mr.
That'll become you.
That's not Mr. Invincible.
Yeah,
but those
Mr.
are big
Incredible.
balls. He's throwing out fucking, whatever. He's throwing out fucking grapes. I would literally turn Mineta into wine. I would remember that scene. Remember like that, or like YouTube 1.0 thing where there was the news reporter and she fell while crushing grapes and she's like, like
that's gonna be you.
No,
if you fight the wine,
that's gonna be him.
You fight the wine, you lose.
He'll be making the noises. I'll be stomping.
In that video, who won, the woman or the wine? The woman or the grapes?
You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna say the woman.
Yeah,
because here's the thing: she still got to stomp a couple of grapes. Those grapes aren't getting used for anything else. Those grapes don't get thrown out. At least they're getting finished off by somebody else. There's a closer coming in for those grapes. Yeah. Right? Absolutely. They're like, all right, shut the fuck up. Get over. Like, I'm not wasting all these
just
grapes.
Some guy in like a black suit comes by, just like, last couple of grapes.
It has to. Not wasting those grapes.
Send some hush money out.
Just because you don't have fucking the ability to step in place.
Yeah.
No way. All right, cool. That's all I had. Oh, wait, no. I also said Four Nights of the Apocalypse is confirmed to be coming to America at a later date. So that's all.
Nice.
That's your news wrap. I mean, we're just not. Who knows when we'll get it? Apparently, people don't want 7 Deadly Sins in America. We don't matter. Once again, we don't matter. They're like, if they decide that we're not going to like an IP, we just fucking won't get it.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Easy as that. And then I also want to say, I love One Piece, but at a certain point, we just have to admit that every arc is Luffy getting captured, hung up, and then running for 30 episodes.
What are you doing? Why are you trying to tank this podcast right now?
Because I got to a point in Whole Cake Island. And I immediately admitted I was wrong. I wrote down this note, and I was proven wrong.
Oh, yeah?
But I'm in Whole Cake Island. Luffy got captured. He's sitting in a book. He gets saved by Jinbei, which happens like 4 fucking times. The amount of times, like, Jinbei has stepped into One Piece like 4 times, and he's like, all right, Luffy, fucking let me get you out of the situation. And then he gets him out of the situation. We're like, all right, cool. Happy days. And then Jinbei is like, all right, never mind. I have more shit to do. I'm not going to join the Straw Hats. For 400 episodes, we've been waiting for Jinbei to join the goddamn Straw Hats. He won't fucking do it. He's like, oh, I'm Captain of the Sun Pirates. I have people and things that I need to see. Just fucking, you want to join the Straw Hats. God damn it, do it. And then, so it's like Dressrosa. It was like, oh no, Luffy's in the Coliseum. Now he has to run. all the way to this other place to fight against Joker. And so it's 100 episodes of Luffy running. The Marineford arc. It's literally just Luffy running to go and save Ace. It's just like arc after arc after arc. It is literally Luffy running to get to a place, and it's 10 episodes of Luffy punching fodder for like 3 minutes, and then it's like, all right, cool. He made it 12 episodes later. This arc starts running, starts fighting fodder. I'm like, motherfucker, we're doing it again. And then he talks to Sanji's sister, and she's like, oh, Sanji knows. Like, the thing that you're going to tell Sanji, he knows. And so Luffy is like, all right, I guess I don't have to run anymore. Yeah. So he just jumped out and he's like, I'm gonna go wait for him. And I was like, oh my God, I'm fucking wrong.
Just hangs up his shoes.
Literally. And I was like, I don't have to watch Luffy run for 12 episodes. It was like, it was in an enlightenment period. It was incredible.
Damn.
Yeah. But like, I am kind of right though.
I could see that being, again, I'm in Skypiea dragging my feet because it's so boring.
I actually love Skypiea, but yeah. Go off, King.
I think the fact that I was like looking up the best arcs, and Skypiea is always at the absolute bottom. That just me knowing nobody likes it is making me not like it.
Okay, here's the thing though. Skypiea is also kind of going through a resurgence right now, like the prequels in Star Wars. Everyone was like, actually, it's pretty good.
I'm hearing it's become a meme that I've seen where people are like, it's like a happy face where it's like when your friend says he's watching One Piece and like an angry face where it's like when he says he's skipping Skypiea.
Yeah. If you skip Skypiea, you miss a lot of very important information.
I'm sure. Yeah, I won't skip it. It's long as shit, which also sucks.
Every arc in One Piece is long as shit.
This is one of the longest.
I don't even think it is.
I looked it up.
Really?
Yeah.
It's one of the longest?
It's one of the longest. It's like 5th longest, but there's like 30 arcs.
Yeah, Alabasta, it's like, all right, before they get to Alabasta, none of those are real arcs. It's like Logetown, Romance Dawn, fucking Whiskey Peak. All of those are fake arcs.
Okay.
None of those actually exist.
Right.
The only real arcs are Skypiea, Marineford, Ennis Lobby, Water 7,
Whole Cake Island,
Dressrosa. Fucking even Punk Hazard doesn't feel real to me. Like it was just like such a throwaway arc. It meant nothing. It was like, oh, we got Caesar. Fuck Caesar. Wano, and then even Egghead Island. They blew right past. Yeah. So like it's like currently we're on the road to Raft Tail, but like Skypiea is a real arc, and it's one of the first real arcs, and I really like it. It's like undertones of racism. Oh. It's like, well, that's the thing. There's like the Skypian people, and then like the island just shot up in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, they don't like foreigners.
Yeah, exactly. There's like undertones of racism and like the Native American struggle and all of that. I think it's really good. I think Enel is one of the coolest bad guys in all of One Piece. I think Skypiea is very underrated.
Yeah. But I was just going to say, I'm not far. And one of my issues with the show or with the manga that like I have heard will never change is all the death baiting.
Oh yeah.
And that goes hand in hand to like the show's issue with repetitiveness.
Yeah.
Where it's just like they keep doing these like incredibly graphic panels of like Usopp with white eyes, his nose is all fucked and broken, and he's got like 2 teeth. And it's like, man, that looks like it fucked him up. And it's like, it didn't. He's fine. He's
Zoro
not gonna
get slashed across the back by Mihawk. Just like wakes up a week later.
I know it never matters. I was so into it early days when I was like still feeling the shock of like, oh shit, One Piece is like gory. Yeah. Like that was still blowing me away, and now it's like something will happen, and like they do the like white eye like no teeth shot, and I'm like, fucking you babies, like don't act like every hit is the most dramatic hit ever. And now none of them feel dramatic.
And then they cut away and like to be continued. And you're like, oh my god, did they die? Like for the first like 100 episodes, you're like, oh, they're gonna take them. And now you're just like, all right, they're fine. Like they're not going anywhere.
I wish at least like Usopp would like lose a foot or something. Yeah, like some consequences. I know Zoro loses an eye eventually, but like
he may not.
No,
like he's just after the time skip, he pulls up, his eye is closed. He has like a little scar there. They never like he just hasn't opened it. Like, we don't know if he's lost the eye, at least where I'm at. And I think currently in the manga, it's just like he closes the eye. That's it.
That's so funny.
There's no consequences in One Piece.
You think he's got like a crazy eye? Like a Sharingan
under there. The thing is, Oda has said, he's like, I don't kill people.
I know the party. Yeah,
like,
we've talked about it.
Like we need to have a barbecue. And I'm like, all right, cool. So there's no consequences whatsoever. That's why I think it would be fucking sick. If at one point, because here's the thing, it's like, the boy who cries wolf, right? It's like, oh, Luffy. Oh, you're gonna kill Luffy? Yeah. Or like, are you gonna kill Zoro? I want one episode for Sanji to get like punched real hard, and then everyone's like, all right, Sanji.
Yeah.
All right, Sanji. We're on the boat. Sanji. Yeah. And then it's just Sanji's fucking dead. That would be wild.
I want like halfway through the next arc, or like halfway through like the arc before the last one, Chopper kills Luffy and it's just like, bitch, I'm captain now.
It's just like Luffy's on the boat. He's like, all right, guys, to the next island. Yeah. Just antlers go through his chest. He's like, oh, just like, my weakness.
My weakness, Chopper.
Yeah, like that has been like, he's like, Chopper being the final bad guy.
That'd be aight. That'd be sweet.
Do you even like, oh my God, that'd be so, he's like, I'm actually not a doctor. Yeah, he's like, I didn't take, it's like literally Chopper would be like, I didn't take the Hippocratic Oath or something. He's like, yeah, do no harm, but here I am doing harm.
Yeah.
That's it. He's like, it's choppering time.
Yeah, that's what he says.
Yeah.
And then everyone's wearing shirts. It's choppering time. Yeah.
Everyone was like, yeah, like Luffy, like it's revealed that nobody was on Luffy's side.
Everyone's into it.
Yeah, except for Luffy, who's just like impaled. It's just like, we're the antler pilots now.
He's just like, impaled, looking around his crews. They all unbutton their jackets, and the "It's Choppering Time" shirt is there.
Like, we got these made 3 islands ago, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's like, I got this shit made at Skypiea, bitch.
We've been waiting. That would be fucking literally like get us into contact with Ejiro Odo. Like,
I would love if like everyone's like, what the fuck is this twist? This came out of nowhere. And then he like lists a bunch of chapters and pages, and you can go back, and there's always like in every arc, there's a moment where one person's like, Chopper, is it time? And he's like, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. And you see them like rebuttoning their shirts. Yeah.
And like nobody has mentioned it.
Yeah. You just see in the back like Chopper like sharpening his horns and just looking at Luffy.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking awesome.
That'd be hype.
If that was gonna happen in any anime, it would be One Piece.
Yeah. That'd be sweet.
Awesome. But One Piece is repetitive. Like, I'm sorry. I get that every new arc explores like new cool themes and it's a new world and it's a vast, like incredible journey. The arcs are repetitive. I'm sorry. Like, I love it. I'm 854 episodes into it. Like, clearly I enjoy it, but like, we have to be real about this. It's incredibly fucking repetitive. Like, it's just like, it's the same goddamn thing. All right. You want to get the best boy?
Sure.
My best boy this week is the King Kong game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It looks, listen, that has to be money. Like, it has to be money laundering, right?
Yeah, that has to be a tax write-off.
Like, there's no way. All right, so for those of you who don't know, a King Kong game came out like a week ago.
Yeah.
And it is, I mean, it could honestly, if you said it's a Playboy game, I would believe you.
A Playboy game?
A Game Boy.
Yeah.
A Game Boy.
Yeah, it's hot, everybody.
It's hot in the street, Playboy.
It looks like PS2, like 100%.
Which is crazy because there is a PS2 King Kong game that came out in 2005 that looks better.
Yeah, I love that game. It's first person. It's scary.
You like rip like fucking serpents in half. Yeah. It was wild.
I don't get it. I don't get how this happened because it's not made by Warner Brothers. Like Universal and Warner Brothers owns King Kong.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it's just public domain now. I wonder if 100 years has passed.
Since King Kong came out?
When did it come out? Like 1923? Maybe
1923. No,
you know, you hear that? You seen that new King Kong picture?
I don't even. Did movies exist in 1923?
I have no idea. I should know. I don't know. I don't know when the first black and white
King Kong came out in 1933. 10 years off is not bad.
I'm close.
That's wild.
In 10 years, legally, we can make a King Kong movie.
No fucking way.
Yeah,
but they've done more.
That's how copyright works.
They've done more with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, in 10 years, we could make like a King Kong fan fiction movie.
Yeah, like when you get a copyright or a patent of something, it expires after 10 years. That's why Winnie the Pooh is getting a bunch of horror movies and horror games now.
You're right, yeah.
Because the patent expired. You can't make Disney's Winnie the Pooh. Like, you can't put a red shirt on him. But, like, the book that it was based off of is fair game.
So the movie that King Kong is based off of will be fair game.
Yeah.
So then what's the excuse here? We're still 10 years away from it not being public domain.
I have no idea. I don't know why this shitty little indie development team made it. It looks terrible.
It looks really bad. Like, I actually kind of wanted it to be the game that we play in our Let's Play because I kind of like... I had this idea before Shangri-La Frontier. Like, if I ever get back into streaming, I'm just going to play the worst games available.
I like that.
Like, I just want to do, like when Gollum came out, I was, like, halfway tempted to stream again because I just want to play the bad fucking games.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to grind on Fortnite. I want to play the worst games in existence. Yeah. And this one, there is literally a cutscene. 2023, this game came out, and it costs $50.
That's so much.
$50.
That's an egregious amount of money.
Warframe is free, by the way. Like, I just want to throw that out there. One of the most expansive and like cool and like progressive games out there.
Yeah.
Free. Fortnite is free. But like this game, which costs $50, has a cutscene where King Kong sees like a bird creature, and then he looks at the bird creature, and it just shows a still photo of the bird creature being angry, and then it pans into King Kong's face. And as it pans into King Kong's face, his hair retextures to look what I guess some would call more realistic, and his eyes just get bigger. And then it just cuts to him smashing the ground. It looks like San Andreas. Like it looks like
it does look like San Andreas.
Like it is insane how bad it looks.
I like it. I would love to play that with you.
That would be fun. I think that would, but I don't think it's multiplayer. So it would just be us playing
sit
together.
On the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do like little brother rules where like every
if
death,
I die,
yeah, we swap.
Okay.
You ever do that and get like stuck on just like a string of your friend not dying?
Oh yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you're like, we got to implement a timer or some shit because this is whack.
Because you're just like either getting a nice, like an easy mission or you're fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. And then like, oh, like the second that you die, like, oh, okay, you died because this is an impossible mission.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I'm just stuck like handing the controller to you every 5 minutes. It's awful. So yes, there's that. And then Kashin Koji is my other best boy.
What is that?
Because Chapter 3 of Boruto came out and it brought some insane, like absolutely insane revelations to Boruto's timeline. Like Boruto has toads. So like he might be a toad sage. Or he might like be affiliated with Kashin Koji, who's Jiraiya's clone.
You can't just say Boruto has toads and then pause for my response.
People get that.
How was I to know what that means? I thought he had like an STD or something.
You know what toads are?
Yeah, but I would not in the context. If I was like, oh yeah, I got to get back. Sarah's got toads. You wouldn't be worried?
1000%. I'd be like, oh, well, I guess. Like warts is what you're looking for, which I guess is actually like tangentially connected to toads. But if you were like Sarah has toads, I'd be like, that makes sense. That would, if anybody in our life
Sarah
was
specifically.
to own a toad, I'd be like, yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's true.
Like go fucking keep an eye on those toads.
So he may be a sage.
Yes. Or he might be like he might have been trained by Kashin Koji, who is Jiraiya's clone.
I hate Sage mode. It looks ugly. I wish it was different.
Literally so important in Naruto's entire timeline.
Just
what
ugly.
do you mean?
I wish it just looked different. I hate the frog eyes. I hate that they get all warty.
Okay, Jiraiya gets warty.
Jiraiya
no one else gets warty.
I hate the toad eyes.
There's 4 toad sages, and Jiraiya is the only one that gets warty. You look like the thing you turn into if it's a non-perfect transformation.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's bad looking.
That's so, of course it is. That's the point.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it because it's like, oh, the key wants to like try and sleep with ladies. It's like, oh, look at Jiraiya, the like notorious like womanizer is so desperate.
Becomes a toad boy.
Yeah, he's so desperate for power. He's like willing to make himself look like a toad. That's cool.
Yeah.
It shows desperation, Daniel.
Listen, I haven't gotten to like where that shit is. I'm strictly talking about design.
You just don't like ugly Jiraiya.
Like, I don't like Naruto's either. Naruto Sage mode.
Why? He's got the little orange. It's sick.
He's got these gross little toad eyes. He's got gross little toads on his shoulders.
His new form when he comes back during the pain arc is one of his red cloak with the huge scroll on his back. That was sick.
It's cool. It's cool enough. It's cool enough.
I'm literally in like I kind of want to buy, if we find space, I want to buy a full size Sage mode Naruto. Yeah, 6 feet.
I would love to see you rank the Naruto transformations.
I've done it.
Have you?
I have.
Oh, really?
I think I did. Did I? I think I one of my YouTube videos, because there's many. I think I did all of Naruto's transformations explained. I actually did. Yeah, I did all of that.
There's all of his transformations are somewhere between really sick and really dumb.
Okay.
Like,
which one is dumb? Besides Sage mode.
No, they're like, a lot of them are both, is the thing.
Gotcha.
Like, is Biju, right? I knew you wouldn't know what I meant.
What do you mean?
They call it Biju in the games. Like Baiju.
I love that your knowledge of Naruto comes from the Storm games.
That's all I know.
That's wild.
Where he's like,
Biju is right. Biju means tailed beast.
Then yeah, he's like on fire. Essentially,
yeah,
he's got the little like 6s all over him.
Okay, that's KCM 2.
Okay.
Well, actually, that's both. That might be KCM 2.
That one's.
Does he have a cloak or not? Does he have like a big flowy cloak? Yeah. KCM 2.
That's why it's dumb, because he gets silly fire clothes.
Why?
Because it's like his outfit. Like his outfit also gets the transformation.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's not like an exclude like.
Do you just want him glowing inside a jacket? Do you know how stupid that would look?
It's just funny.
He wears a long sleeve shirt, Daniel. You just want glowy hands like Yusuke waiting to be reincarnated from the spirit world?
It's just funny if you think about it. I'm wearing a shirt right now with a little cat on it, and there's a caption that says, "For Francois, nothing is more comforting than I'm reading upside down, so it's difficult.
I can imagine.
For Francois, nothing is more comforting than a large bowl of pasta, except maybe a second bowl of pasta. If I went Super Saiyan right now, wouldn't it be silly if Francois the cat became part of that transformation?
Don't you think it would be fucking silly if it was just glowy? Imagine you're Goku. You are Super Saiyan. Okay, I guess
he's in his clothes.
I guess they do kind of do that.
Hot dog.
No. Okay, here's the thing. They do the energy all around the clothes.
Yeah.
The energy, yeah. Okay, what I'm saying is
the clothes don't become the transformation.
I guess you kind of have a point there. You. Get pwned, noob. Holy shit.
Get absolutely pwned.
Wow, I feel like I'm in a fucking 2012 MLG edit. Like I'm just waiting for the Rasta horns. Oh my god.
And then you know what? When they fuse, new clothes. Fusion specific clothes.
What does that have to do with Naruto? What at all does that have to do with Naruto? Naruto in KCM2 gets new clothes.
No.
No, wait, he doesn't. No, yes, he does.
No, it's what he's wearing.
No, because KCM1, in KCM1, he's just got his regular jacket. KCM2, when he unlocks it, his jacket turns into a long robe. Honestly, you gaslit me last week. Because you were like, Rui doesn't get killed by Giyu.
Oh, yeah, Giyu. God.
Yeah, Giyu. But I was right.
I was just wrong. I didn't gaslight you.
Yeah, but you were like, oh, no, you're wrong.
I had a different opinion.
I backed down. That's the problem. I'm never backing down again.
Wow.
Never back down, never what?
Never back
down, never what? Yeah, that's right.
You keep yelling memes at me.
It is my brain. That is all my brain is. Do you have a best boy?
I do. It's gaslighting.
Is it because of the Giyu
Coincidentally, no, it's because I put out a TikTok, put out a few TikToks this morning, didn't do great, didn't think they'd do great, didn't want to do a Mortal Kombat one, but I was like, I want some views. I want some easy views. So I lied to everybody. Just put out a whole TikTok full of lies.
Oh, about the Mandela effect?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I put out a video that only like half to 1/3 of people got was satire. And I did it. It was like, oh, there are so many instances of the Mandela effect in anime. And then I explained what the Mandela effect is, which is like when a big mass of people all believe something happened that didn't occur. So it's like, everybody misremembers whether or not the Berenstain Bears were the Berenstain Bears or the Berenstain Bears.
I feel like
I don't know what the true one is.
Wild example to try and explain the Mandela effect.
That's the core example.
Literally just say Darth Vader didn't say, Luke, I'm your father.
Or that.
That's the way more famous example.
It's just people.
The fuck are the Bernstein Bears? What is a Bernstein Bear? I don't need to go Bearstein Bears. What are we talking about? Fucking, it's just say Darth Vader.
Chill.
I didn't know if it was the Bernie Sanders Bears or the fucking disgusting liberal Bears.
Yeah. But it's just when people misremember things.
Yeah.
And people love hearing about those. It's very fun to be like, I thought Pikachu had a brown spot on his tail. A lot of people thought that.
It's at the base.
There is no brown on his tail.
There's absolutely brown on his tail.
Whole white tail.
Well, first off, if anything, it would be yellow. How dare you?
Whole yellow tail.
No, there's brown on his tail.
Brown on his back, not on his tail.
No, you're a liar.
Check it out.
You're fully lying.
Check it out.
You're fucking... So, every single thing in that video was fake?
Oh, whoa, what the fuck is this?
What do you... Dude, there is absolutely...
What are you talking about?
There is absolutely brown on his tail.
Whoa!
How... I swear to God, I'm gonna go insane on this podcast. You cannot keep misleading me.
I didn't know. I'm so used to seeing Pikachu like this, where that part is like poked behind.
It's at the base of his tail. I would know. Listen, I can't believe I almost let you gaslight me because there was literally a statue of Pikachu right there in our podcast.
Can't see his tail, dingus.
Yeah, but I have to put the tail in every time I build it, every time I move.
But I can't see it. I was one who didn't think he had brown on his tail, you fucking drill bit.
What's wild is in your Mandela effect video, you're like, oh, everybody, one of them was right. What
do you mean?
You thought you were gaslighting everybody. In the Mandela effect video, you're like, oh, everybody thought that the brown bit is on the tip of the tail, but it's actually on the base.
Yeah, that was the example. The examples were all true. Like, the explanation of the Mandela effect, I used a true example.
So you thought it was true. So you thought Pikachu had brown on his tail. We're going around
No, that doesn't matter.
Don't you call me a drill bit and then immediately admit to wrongdoing.
That doesn't matter, all right? I call you a drill bit because you're screwing me right now, Nick.
That's all I want to do.
Listen, So I made this video. I explained the Mandela effect, and now I've explained it to all of you in the most complicated, fucking confusing explanation.
We're Akatamying.
So then, I'm not even gonna ask what that is.
Gege.
Oh.
Akatami.
So then, in the video, I go, for example, in anime, one example of the Mandela effect is that Gaara never actually uses sand coffin. A lot of people think that he does. That never happened. Neither in the anime or the manga. It's just from the video games. And then I was like, Goku, a lot of people think he said, lend me your energy. Also a phrase he's never said.
Wait, are these fake or are these real?
These are what I said in my video.
Yeah, but are these fake? Because I know the fucking, I don't want to ruin your punchline, but are these ones the fake ones or the real? Are you doing 2 truths and a lie?
I don't know.
Because here's the thing. Gaara uses sand burial. I think he uses sand coffin as well. I think that one's a lie. I genuinely haven't seen Dragon Ball Z in like a decade and a half.
Yeah.
I don't know what Goku says.
Gaara never uses sand prison. Or sand coffin, I mean.
Okay, but he uses sand burial. I know that. I know for a fact. That, fuck you. I am literally the Naruto guy. I know for a fact he uses sand burial.
Uh-huh.
I just don't know if he ever calls it sand coffin.
He does use sand coffin.
Okay,
it's
cool.
the first thing he does.
It's the guy with the umbrella.
Yeah, he explodes that guy with
I just remember if it was called sand burial or sand coffin.
And then so then I say, Goku never says, lend me your energy. And then I say, also, a lot of people think Sanji is very pervy towards women, but Sanji is actually gay.
Yeah.
Which was supposed to be the, like...
That was supposed to be the, haha, it was all a joke.
Yeah, haha, it was me, the dancer.
The jester.
Yeah.
Listen to these bells attached to my clothes.
None of the comments made it that far. They got to Gaara using sand prison, got pissed, and, like, freaked out in the comments. Then some people were like...
I love when you get a flavor, it's like a little scoop of the ice cream that is my life.
It's so dumb. It's so funny.
It's so fun. I haven't read a TikTok comment in 3 weeks, and I am the happiest I've ever been.
Good. That's great.
I am in such a good spot right now.
I know you're on the keto diet.
Yeah.
That's a part of it.
Yeah, literally, it is like my social media purge is just not reading TikTok comments. Because everybody on YouTube is like, thank you for posting. This is the greatest video ever made. And TikTok's like, I know your address. I'm outside. The gun is loaded. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get off.
My TikTok is all very nice. My YouTube's all very nice. All it takes is a single, person being like, L take for me to fly off the handle.
Oh, yeah. And I know that about myself, which is why I don't read TikTok comments anymore.
No, that's an incredible call on your part. But yeah, and then some people commented being like, wow, all you're doing is lying for views. I can't believe you. And I'm like, just doing a bit here, guys.
You ever heard of a goof? I swear to God, half of the people who get upset in my comments, have just never heard of the concept of a joke. No. They're just like, no, that's not how it works. It's like, oh, the aristocratic system doesn't function in the society that way. It's just because we're democratic. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck are we? And did humor not develop in that side of your brain? Yeah, it's absolutely insane to me sometimes, dude. But you did miss an incredible opportunity to make a joke that a lot of the One Piece fandom would have liked.
I know, the Fishman Island one.
That's the thing.
Someone commented that, and I was like, fuck, you're right. That would have been good.
It would have been, and also then people would have realized that it was all a joke.
Yeah.
But then again, the thing is, all right, here's my thing. The Mandela effect sucks because you did 2 things from anime that happened a while ago. If you had just been like, oh, the Mandela effect is actually that Yuji is dead in his battle against Chozo or something like that. But the thing is, even the Naruto guy was like, I don't fucking, did he call it burial or did he call it coffin?
Well, that's why I picked old ones, because I was like, people, if I could somehow convince people for even the briefest moment that Trunks never had a sword, I can die happy.
See, that's too far.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's too far.
That's why I did very easy, lend me your energy. Did he say that? Maybe not. Like the Luke, I am your father.
Because the terminology could have been different. It could have been like, oh, spare me your key. Some fucking stupid shit like that,
Yeah, but so that's why I did older stuff. If I was like, oh, Yuji dies this episode.
Yeah.
Everyone would be like, I just saw it. It came out today. No, he doesn't.
So it's kind of perfect. It was good. Because, one, people were like, oh, actually, did this. Here's the thing. You got the comments of people being upset. No, fucking, who gives a shit about them? Fuck them. And then it's just you got the joke off at the end. But unfortunately, much in the same capacity that you reached out to me about how my TikTok was fucked this morning, when I saw that TikTok and I was like, God, it should have been a Fishman Island joke.
I know. I want to do, and me saying it defeats the purpose of this, but like, who's gonna see it? Yeah. And you guys will be in the know.
Yeah, all fucking 30,000 of them. Yeah. You won't bury this lead at all.
But I want to do like, if I ever do more, some of them, I want to really make it fucking confusing.
Gotcha.
Where some of them will be true.
2 truths and a lie. That's what you should have done.
Well, some of them will be true, but then some of them will be like a lot of people think Goku says the famous line, "Come here, bitch." But it turns out he doesn't.
You loose slut, get your ass over here. And you're like,
and I
what?
want people to be like, nobody thinks Goku says that.
A lot of people remember the full penetration scene of Goku making Goten, but actually it didn't happen.
My grand gaslight conspiracy will be to be like, a lot of people think Goku's gi is red. It's actually orange. And then have people be like, fuck, I did think it was red. Like, that's a double gaslight.
God, it is tough, right? Because, like, I feel like with the sand burial thing, I'm like, oh, you know, like I'm naturally suspicious, right? I'm like, I don't, like, it was like, oh, it could have happened. But, like, the thing is, it's too ambiguous for me to, like, be like, oh, you're right. For you to gaslight an entire community into believing something else entirely, it has to walk the line of ambiguous and, like, possibly, like, oh, people could believe it.
Yeah. It's tough. That's why I work so hard. That's why I'm so tired all the time.
I could imagine. Like, this is like,
That's where my brain goes.
I haven't talked to Sarah in weeks. This is why she has toads. She's trying to fill the companionship hole. I'm just trying to figure out Mandela effects in the corner.
I'm just locked in my room like, Neji killed Hinata. Yeah. No.
It's not good enough. It's not ambiguous enough.
Yeah.
Hinata's still around. People know that.
Yeah.
I love that for you. All right. I want to get into my flashback.
Yeah.
My flashback for this week is that Kaiju number 8 got a trailer.
Yeah, it did. We watched it together.
We watched it together right before the podcast.
It's fun that you said that to me, as if I wouldn't know.
Well, okay, it's called movie magic.
It's theater.
You could have played with me. You could have done a little yes and. Jesus Christ.
Oh, did it? That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. You want me to tell you all about it?
That'd be really funny.
Just the podcast fucking ends.
To give you dead air. Because I was going to say no, and I was like, what's better than no as a subversion of yes and?
Nothing. Well, actually, no. Actually, better than no would have been killing me. You know, you're not supposed to kill an improv. You're just like, oh, no, too bad. Fucking
no,
blow me away. No killing an improv. I know.
That's what they tell you. They're like, always yes and. Make sure you're respectful to your partner. No killing this time.
Wait. Is that not actually a thing?
That's it.
I took like 3 improv classes in class. Jesus fucking Christ. Improv classes in high school, and they were like, yeah, no violence, because like violence like takes the skit off the rails.
That's so different from no killing.
Well, they were like, yeah, like if you
I don't even know real killing.
But they also did it. They did it in The Office when they were like doing improv, and Michael would like he would go to the improv classes, and every single time he'd like pull out a gun. Do you not remember that? They'd be like, Michael, what is that? And he'd be like, a gun. And they're like, God damn it, Michael, you can't keep pulling guns on everybody.
That's so funny.
You don't remember? Have you not seen The Office?
I have. I don't remember. There's like 1,000 episodes.
Well, listen, unfortunately, then there's also the fact that every time I put on The Office, I end up having sex after, and it's like, all right, I'm not going to remember what's going on.
The old Office curse.
This is one of the first things we ever talked about was like sex shows.
Yeah.
And like, now you get a weird chub every time you see like Michael or Pam. You're like,
mostly Pam, but I see what you're saying.
I don't know, pre hair plug, Michael, little rub my hair through it.
Anyway,
So, anyways, Kaiju number 8 got a new trailer, which looked fine.
It looks very fine. A lot of people, when they like released the first images of the trailer, didn't like the character models.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Fucked them up.
It's just so minimalist.
It's really weird. It's like Mob Psycho-ish almost.
That's kind of the thing. So it's IG Productions. I don't know what else they do. But like, so when he's in his kaiju form, it like looked very Mob Psycho. It was like a bunch of colors flashing around him and like very much like a high movement thing. So like that looks really good. But like when they're just walking around, they have like no details in their face whatsoever. Yeah. And it's like, he looks like he's like 35. He doesn't look old.
You know what it looks like?
What?
It looks like Arthur.
Like the
PBS
like
Kids show? Yeah, the Aardvark.
I guess kind of what's weird is though it's juxtaposed to like incredibly detailed backgrounds.
Yeah.
It looks very Mob. Like it looks like very Mob, very like One Punch Man, where it's like, you know, like non-detailed characters like in an incredibly detailed world. And then like when the action kicks off, like there's a bunch of like Utapon cubes, like a bunch of like Utapon cubes, like a bunch of action, colors, all that. Like it's like stroby.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, like I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, like you said, they like, I really think they like aged him down purposefully. Like, I wonder if the studio was like, no one's going to want to watch this shonen about like a 35-year-old man. Let's make him look 20.
Because it's not a shonen, it's a seinen.
Like, you know, whatever. Like the marketing boys. But like, it's like, yeah, they like rounded the fuck out of his face. They took away the detail. They took away like a lot of his stubble. Like he still has a little stubble, but it's like, I really think they try to make him look younger, and it's probably for like a demographic reason.
Absolutely, because they're like, oh wait, like the 35-year-olds will know that he's 35, and they'll relate to the situation he's in. But like the 14-year-olds will be like, all right, I'm not going to watch the old man anime. Yeah. It's like trying to get somebody to watch like Vagabond, and you're like, he looks scruffy. You're just like, you're like, I don't know, like it just looks like it seems like he's been through a lot. I don't know if I need to go through a lot right now. Yeah, you can't watch Vagabond. They haven't made an anime for it yet. But like, read Vagabond. You get it. So yeah, it's definitely like a demographics thing. I don't hate it. Like, if there's worse problems to have with an anime than like, oh, they made him look younger. Yeah. Like I'm still gonna watch it, but like,
it looks alright. It just looks dopey. Yeah, like the art style of the characters. It's strange. We'll see how it is. I'm sure it'll be the story of Kaiju number 8.
Yeah, like, and then like what's weird is I think Kaiju number 8, like we're currently in this process of like MHA, JJK, and a lot of other like what people would identify as like new gen anime. Yeah, well, I guess JJK is not close to ending, but like at least their manga runs are close to ending. And I think like Kaiju number 8, like I'm trying to like identify. My big thing is like what's gonna be the next wave.
I don't think it's Kaiju number 8.
You don't think so?
I don't know. It doesn't like. I just can't smell the success on it.
It's one of the most popular manga in the world.
I know it does. The trailer didn't look good enough. No. Like, it doesn't look like I'm gonna convince any college students to watch. Like, it doesn't look like it's gonna hit that mainstream appeal that, like, Jujutsu Kaisen and such have.
So is Jujutsu Kaisen, like, when I think mainstream, I think Attack on Titan, I think Demon Slayer, I think Naruto, and Dragon Ball. Like, those are different generations of the, like, all right, I've seen this. They're like, you talk about anime and somebody's like, oh, I've seen this. Yeah. I don't think JJK is that.
No, I guess not. But I don't know. I could see JJK being, like, a high school show. I can see people being into that. If
like, a lot of people in high school watch it?
Yeah. Like, it's on Adult Swim. Like, high schoolers maybe check it out. Like, I don't know, though.
I feel like there's a big difference. I feel like there's a line, right? I feel like there's like anime, like every anime person is watching it, and then there's your uncle, like, and then there's like your cousin is watching it. You know, like that's the thing. And like that line is only crossed maybe 5 times in existence.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like cosplaying going on with JJK other than Gojo.
I mean, I was Toji at AX.
Oh, there
was an infinite amount of other Tojis and a ton of Sukunas.
I suppose there's a lot of. I didn't see. Oh, I guess so.
So many Sukunas.
I guess so. Literally, I feel like I saw more Chainsaw
One of the people we interviewed, the fucking Short Kings podcast, he was Sukuna.
Okay, but like podcasters and anime YouTubers do not count when I'm talking about the average person.
What do you mean? Who else is cosplaying?
Your average person. The people listening to the podcast.
There was nothing average about being a cosplayer.
What are you talking about?
Like, the entry to be, like, a level of fan to begin cosplaying is already far beyond what we're talking about.
I see so many Bungo Stray Dogs cosplays at conventions. Nobody who's doing that runs a YouTube page.
You know goddamn well the only reason you see Bungo Stray Dogs cosplays at conventions is because you know if you go compliment them, there's a 90% chance they go, Danny!
But they're there.
Because you have an eye out for them. It's like when you buy a car and then you keep seeing your car driven by other people because you're looking for it.
But I see an insane amount of Genshin Impact cosplays, and I'm not looking for that.
That's because those motherfuckers spend a gazillion dollars on them and they look sick. All right, I've never seen a bad Genshin cosplay. Yeah. They literally all have the wig perfectly styled. They have the fucking weapon. It's like the thing is, not every, like, actually, no. Yeah, no. I was going to say Genshin characters don't come with a preset weapon, but they do. It's like the red hair guy has a certain sword. Yeah, I was going to say. But like you can get like a weapon that's the best weapon for them. They all have the weapon. They have the outfit down packed. They do the makeup and everything. Like
I saw a ton of Chainsaw Man cosplays. I see more other cosplays than JJK.
I simply just
also, I was agreeing with you, you goddamn drill bit. Because you were like, JJK's not in the, like, as popular as like a Naruto or this or that. Like it's not as mainstream. And I was agreeing.
Agree to disagree.
I guess.
Agree to agree.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
No, it's just like it's only been crossed like 5 times.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that it?
I have news.
Yeah.
The Boy and the Heron got an English cast.
Holy fuck. fuck
Big
did
cast.
it. Holy fuck
Christian
did it.
Bale, Dave Bautista, Gemma Chan from Crazy Rich Asians, Willem Dafoe, Karen Fukuhara from The Boys.
Kimiko.
Yeah, Kimiko.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill, Robert Pattinson, Florence Pugh.
Like, what the fuck?
Huge cast.
Like, I don't even... Where's the money coming from?
Ghibli films always have a pretty banging cast, though. This isn't Christian Bale's first Ghibli film.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Howl's Moving Castle.
I know.
I'm just saying.
I love... the crowd needs to know for sure, but like, this is definitely like your moment of like watching like Lord of the Rings with somebody and see Aragorn yell and you're like, haha.
Do you know the toe?
Do you know? Yeah, he broke his toe when he kicked that helmet. Like, that's literally... But yes, like, him playing Howl is one of the most iconic voice acting... Like, just one of the most, like... iconic voice acting performances of all time. Okay. I can only imagine. Dude, him as Howl? Sex incarnate.
I suppose so. I don't know how big Howl's Moving Castle really is. Especially when compared to like other Ghibli films. I
would say Howl's Moving Castle is the second most popular Ghibli film of all time. Spirited Away, Howl's, Princess Mononoke.
Ponyo, Mononoke?
No,
Ponyo. Or no, Kiki. I'd put Kiki and Totoro above Mononoke.
Oh, there's no goddamn way.
In popularity.
Totoro, I could agree on. Totoro probably exists in the top 3. There's no way Kiki's delivery exists. Kiki's above Princess Mononoke? There's no way.
I think it's because kids can watch it.
Kids can watch Princess Mononoke.
Kiki's...
teaches them an important lesson about environmentalism.
And fear?
Yeah.
And fearing cartoons?
Absolutely.
I don't... Like, Kiki's Delivery Service was always on TV growing up. I just feel like that results in more people having known it.
Also,
like,
people want you to watch Ponyo again.
Again.
A lot of people. People are begging you to watch it.
I've never seen it in my life. I won't be.
It's Willem Dafoe.
This isn't Willem Dafoe's first either. I didn't even know.
Willem Dafoe plays the father, I think, in Ponyo.
If Willem Dafoe played Ponyo, I'd watch it.
Somebody, the fucking 4th Jonas brother plays Ponyo.
Yeah, that's why I never watched it.
Yeah.
Frankie Jonas.
Frankie Jonas plays Ponyo. Yeah. He's actually pretty good.
Don't care.
He's pretty good.
Wait, no, he doesn't. He plays the little boy.
Oh, no, he plays the little boy.
Like Yusuke
I do not remember who plays Ponyo.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
it's a fucking terrible movie.
Stacked cast. Ghibli films always have stacked, like, all-star casts.
But this is, like, next level. How do you have Christian Bale, Mark Hamill... Dave Bautista isn't like a crazy pull. Like, he's like a good actor, but like Florence Pugh.
Yeah,
like,
she's like one of the biggest actrisses around right now. Yeah. Robert Pattinson, like
Batman.
Crazy. Yeah, two Batmen.
Two Batman.
Two Batman.
I didn't even think about that. And the Joker.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Wait, the Joker? Who?
Mark Hamill.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
And the Green Goblin.
And the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
I mean, different universes, but still, that's absolutely crazy. So yeah, Boy and the Heron, it's going to be very good. I'll probably watch it in both sub and dub to like really get a feel for it, but I have a feeling that it's going to be like a dub situation where I'm like, the dub is better.
I am like, yeah, I grew up watching Ghibli films in dub, so now I'm like, fuck it, like I'll just watch them all in dub.
I exclusively watch Howls in dub. Everything else I kind of oscillate.
Yeah.
I think I watch Spirited Away in sub usually. Howls must watch in dub because of Christian Bale.
So Nick, I have a question for you.
What do you have?
What is your least favorite thing about your... No. What is your favorite thing about your least favorite character?
There we go. Danny's lead in here is ignoring the fact that this is a love letter that was answered, asked last week. We got a love letter.
This is part 2 of that love letter.
Yeah, this is a part 2 from the love letter from last week, which is why I didn't do my spiel about like, oh, here, we're going to do love letters. We're going to poll the live crowd. We're going to hang out with them after the pod, to make sure that everybody gets their money worth. But usually on a week-by-week basis, if you guys want to ask us live questions to answer on the pod, you can become a YouTube member and become either Team Danny or Team Nick. It's $4.99 or $5.99 a month, depending on the team you choose. But last week we got a 2-parter that we only answered one part 2, so we're going to finish it this week. So our love letter this week is Daniel once again.
What is your favorite thing about your least favorite character?
Okay, so you actually have an answer here that I want you to go with because I'm going to plead the fifth like you usually do every single week because I'm usually the one who answers the question, asks the question.
Hey.
Every time I ask the question,
take it easy.
Every time I ask the question, you're like, whoa, hey.
I need time. It's hard to answer a question immediately.
But you have an answer and I don't. So please, sir, the floor is yours.
Why, yes, I do.
Go ahead.
My favorite thing about one of my least favorite characters is that Zenitsu goes really hard very briefly. And I'm not talking about when he falls asleep, does his lightning thunderclap. Mm-hmm. That's cool. But I don't really care that he has, like, a sick attack when he falls asleep. I'm more into like personality traits, which is why I hate him because his sucks.
Yeah.
But He's got one great moment where Tanjiro's got this box. It's got Nezuko in it, as everyone knows. And Inosuke is trying to get in that box.
Oh, yeah.
And
Zenitsu, trying to get all up in that box.
Yeah, he says his famous line, "Let me in that box.
Let me bust down the door of that box."
Yeah, he's trying to bust a box. And Zenitsu was like, "I don't know what's in this, but Tanjiro's very nice to me, and I am not letting you in this goddamn box."
Yeah.
So he just like cugs around it and just takes an absolute fucking walloping from Inosuke.
Inosuke just leans into him.
Inosuke beats Zenitsu within an inch of his fucking life, and they never bring it up again.
They really, and they're just like kind of cool with it after. Yeah. And then also Tanjiro then proceeds to break Inosuke's fucking ribs.
Yeah, true. Tanjiro pulls a fucking Mortal Kombat X-ray move and knocks the oink out of Inosuke.
Yeah, like literally. And then they're just like, yeah, we'll probably be cool. It's like, you are all fatally wounded.
Yeah, it's an intense brawl. I think Inosuke like does a full break dance around Tanjiro's face with his crotch.
That is a very underrated fight.
It's an intense fight, but my point being that moment with Zenitsu like cemented him as being like, even if his personality gets worse, I will always have that moment where like he was a real one for Tanjiro.
Yeah, that's it. You need one good moment. That's it.
That's
you
it.
Need one good moment, and I'll probably ride with you forever.
That scene like gives me chills every time I watch it.
Yeah,
like, it's so sick.
Legitimately sick. Mine is about Sasuke. Sasuke, very famously, I just like him as a character. However, Sasuke does have some really good moments. And most of them have come in Boruto or in part 1 of Naruto. And I gotta say, one, Sasuke is incredibly polarizing, and because of that, he's an iconic character. And so it's like, well, I do dislike him for a large majority of the show. Like, I do love the fact that he brings, like, one, he's a lot of people's favorite character. 2, he brings a lot of people to Naruto. 3, a lot of people ride with him regardless. So there's a lot of reasons that I do dislike him. I'm not going to get into those. What I do love about Sasuke is that when you need him, he usually pulls up. And I think a good moment, very similar to Zenitsu, is him going through the realization that he needs to let more people into his life. Like, in part 1 of Naruto, I liked Sasuke as a character. Shippuden is where he lost me. And I thought his journey of realizing that some things were more important than his hatred towards Itachi, and those things were the people around him, was a really cool realization. And then like him like putting his life on the line to save Naruto in the Land of Waves arc, and like that was like peak Sasuke for me. Like Land of Waves arc, like he was a compelling, interesting character that was helping Naruto because he was realizing that there were some things more important than revenge. And if he had stayed on that path or like worked collaboratively like with Konoha to like work his way and his power up to defeating Itachi, I think that would have been cool. Outside of that, also in Boruto recently, he decided to not believe his memories and believe his daughter after like the entire world was like brainwashed.
Oh, that's nice.
And he was a really good father in that moment. And I've been very vocal about the fact that he's a shit ass father.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I was like, honestly, that's a better father moment than even Naruto has had thus far. So like, I kind of got to ride with that. So
that's pretty dope.
When it comes to things that I like about Sasuke, he's got a couple of things, but it doesn't outweigh the amount of hatred I have for my heart.
And you gotta love him just breaking both arms off of a kid.
Oh, yeah. Just like literally, like the second he gets a curse mark, he's like, well, elbows are unnecessary.
Yeah, just snapping them. Just snapping a couple arms.
And it's way worse in the manga as well.
Yeah,
like way worse in the manga.
Yeah.
And then in like the anime, he's just like, ow, dislocated. In the manga, he pulls his fucking arms off. There's
a lot of crazy shit in the manga that isn't in the anime. Like, Shino, like, blows a dude's arms up.
Same dude.
Same guy?
Same dude.
Poor guy.
Yeah, same dude who, wait, no, it actually, I think it is the same dude.
It's a sand one. I don't know if it's that guy.
Shino fills his holes with bugs.
Easy now.
And then, yeah, exactly. Listen, he'll fill my holes with bugs if he wants to.
Yeah, he's got holes in his palms. They get filled with bugs. He tries to do a sound blast and his arms explode.
Blows his elbows up.
And then all the teachers of this middle school are like, hold on. Yeah, good.
Full points. Moving to the next round, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Meanwhile, there's a child like, ah!
Yeah, weird. None of the parents showed up to this child tournament.
It's like, probably because they knew a war was about to happen, that like active militant child. But yeah, I mean, there's also the entirety of the Forest of Death where they're like, just if you want to scroll, kill the other children. Yeah. You know, it's like, okay, cool. Didn't become a tuning. Also lost my son.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah, it's literally called the Forest of Death, and they send 12-year-olds there. Yeah. So maybe Konoha isn't the good place. But that's all we had this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you much for checking in with us. We appreciate you keeping up with us every single week. Me and Danny are probably going to be doing a Halloween special next week. We don't really know what that entails. You know what? that's what we're going to do with our active audience. We're going to ask them all about what we should do for the Halloween special, and therefore they're going to have a real big role in what this podcast is going to do. So if ever there was a reason to become a YouTube member, it's for unique little perks like that. We're also probably going to put up a poll, but we're going to put more weight into what our active audience is going to say. So make sure you guys are following us on all the other platforms like TikTok and Instagram. And if you want to hang out with us on a live basis, become a YouTube member. Also, me and Danny are in the process of making a Patreon, which is going to have additional content for you to watch. So if you guys want more Nick and Danny in your life, you want to see us play video games together on a couch or battle it out in MHA's Rumble or something like that, go ahead and eventually subscribe to the Patreon. I mean, we don't have it yet, but get the money ready.
It will also have the exact same content as YouTube memberships. So, right? Yeah.
No, go off, King. I listen.
That's the plan.
Every time you guys explain this to me, my eyes glaze over. So please explain. I stand with you.
So if you are subscribed as a YouTube member, I just want to make clear, and you don't want to shift over to Patreon or whatever, you will get the Patreon content as a YouTube member as well.
Oh, we'll upload the videos, members only on the YouTube page.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
So it's just like, just so people aren't doubling up on subscriptions.
As a Patreon member, though, you won't get access to the live broadcast because we just simply can't do that.
So that's true.
Doesn't work that way.
So you do technically, you get access to the lives as a YouTube member. This will all be explained when the Patreon exists. I just want people to know you will not have to get a Patreon if you are a YouTube member.
Yes. Cool. Got it. Good. Thanks for hanging out with us. I've been NC Hammer, also known as the Weeb Commander, also known as Spitboy.
Yeah,
Pissman, tell him who you are.
I've been Pissman, also known as Danny Motta on YouTube, DMotta3 on TikTok, and DMotta with 3 T's on Instagram.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
That was the cleanest I've done in 40 episodes.
That was actually very impressive.
Yeah.
You're getting better.
Yeah.
It only took 3/4 of a year.
Exactly.
Okay, bye.
Bye.